Howdy guys, it's Rando Gamer again. We're back with another session of Souls of Steels. This is session 21, part 4 of Act 3, The Coming Storm. So we're getting really spicy with the political intrigue. This session picks up with the morning after their sort of stuff with the black market. We do briefly go back and have a conversation with Raya and John that they were wanting to do at the Galarian, which is basically them kind of like making sure they're on the same page on like how aggressive we get with the whole political overthrowing the government type stuff. From there, we pick up the following morning where a new member joins the kind of crew. It seems the black market sent up another android who was looking for work and basically just had him tag along with the group to get jobs. We kind of did a little bit of stuff with everybody and then kind of skipped forward to have that conversation with the black market where they got some really interesting details on the jobs that were offered. And they kind of realize how much some of the government is using the black market to get things done, essentially. So, very interesting session. They're starting to see that there's a lot more intertwined with the government and the swarm and just everything in general. So, it's exciting because I think we're probably at a spot where we're probably going to get off of Absalon Station again and start moving towards prepping for the swarm and whatnot. So, hope you guys enjoy. If you do like the session, make sure to hit the like button. And if you like this content, feel free to subscribe. It really does help me out. But without further ado, here is session 21 of Souls of Steel. Okay. Well, thank you guys all for joining me. This is session 21 of Souls of Steel. This is Act 3. I think this is part 4 of Act 3. And Act 3 is The Coming Storm.
Oh boy.
2 sessions ago, we had started off with John meeting with his brother Rejuvenor in the engineering section of the ship. Basically, he was trying to parse out whether or not it was beneficial to convert the swarm troops into androids or robots with the soul transference spell. But Rejuvenor kind of pointed out that the only people that it's worth doing, because you could do it without getting their consent essentially, would be the swarm troops that have already lost their mental faculties. So it would basically be a brain dead sort of creature where their soul is already dead essentially. So John kind of rethought that sort of plan of attack. And we had caught up with Raya, who had started doing a new morning workout, kind of like trying to increase her dexterity skills, realizing if this threat is as big as it sounds like, she's going to need a little bit more in the tank than what she might have at the moment. And then we kind of like panned over to T's room at this point where he was working through kind of like a flashback of that he had gotten from the night prior when they were bar hopping, where he had relived the moments on the...
You signed the wrong part. I didn't want to embarrass you, but you signed below the line. It's okay. You're
a newbie. T had seen this sort of memory where he was on the ship right before he had kind of set the self-destruct and rammed it into the enemy fleet, and he confirmed that this was 100% a true memory, and he got a little bit more context now that he was willing to kind of like embrace this memory of like his alter ego. And he was able to specify that it was about 15 vessels that had ambushed them while they were conducting an operation on the planet of Octurne. Because of the stress of the moment, he basically was overtaken by his alternate personality, and that's whenever they had set a collision course and set the self-destruction. When he finally got control over it, he had also realized that his first and second in command, Levada Notley, who is the current leader of the Free Captains, and Hargrove, who is now on the crew as part of the Revengers, recognized that something was off. Delilah had, at this point, made it into, or was reorganizing her room because despite having just made her room a couple days ago, she wasn't really feeling the vibe. But we were able to kind of get a glimpse at sort of the theming that she has. So, like, it's kind of like a trash heap, but she specifically collects, like, bronze and, like, rose gold colored sort of objects. So it's all kind of got a shiny glint
It's
to
like
it.
a horde, but yeah.
It almost looks like a dragon horde of, like, garbage.
But it's all pretty garbage.
Pretty garbage, yes. Everybody had then kind of went to meet for breakfast. John was trying to use this as a moment to kind of like fill in the party on his game plan. And Agnes was the onboard AI that has created a solid hologram form. Was making breakfast for the crew. T had kind of sauntered in as he was trying to clean off his newly acquired pirate hat, which the smell was so strong that Delilah immediately picked it up and kind of called out that they needed to get some sort of cleaning crew because this is just disgusting. And then John sort of dropped the bombshell that he kind of wanted to overthrow the government with the rest of the party.
over morning tea.
In typical T fashion, he seemed to be on board and even let the group know that he had already told his crew to feel free to pillage as they went because either no one would notice because they're all dead, or they were heroes and it wouldn't matter anyways. Which kind of caused Raya to kind of like be taken aback that we were just like all in immediately.
Like suddenly the group is subscribing to anarchy out of nowhere.
Yeah, and we started to kind of get a little bit of the vibe that Raya's got a little paranoia going on because she points out that like we don't even know who's under swarm control. So like the inner circle, PWC could be swarm controlled. We don't know, and ultimately the consensus ends up kind of coming specifically from Delilah and Raya is that we shouldn't do anything concerning the PWC until after the swarm is taken care of. So potentially overthrowing the PWC, but after the evasion is handled. Following this, T had then gone to the holodeck to practice some 1v1 fights to kind of like work on his strength sort of abilities to kind of like boost his Karen form where he kind of hulks out. They had then set their course for Absalon Station, which is effectively what has replaced Galarian, which is like the Earth equivalent in the solar system. And with their new drift engine, they were able to make it there within an hour.
Yeah, we got the new.
And this is where we kind of got a little bit more details. Yeah. There was a little bit more details on the drift itself because it's kind of like a pocket dimension that you travel through to kind of like shorten the distance. Raya and Delilah were familiar that Triune is the god that controls this dimension and gave drift technology to mortals. And he's the three-faced technological god, so effectively three technology gods merged into one, and that's what Triune is.
Is it the Living Tribunal that has the three heads in Marvel? What's it called? Or no, I don't know. Never mind.
No, I think that's right. Yeah, I think it's the
There's
Living
like
Tribunal.
three heads.
Yeah.
It's like cosmologically powerful dude.
I didn't realize that connection until you pointed it out, but maybe they, stole from that. I don't know. The other kind of key point that they knew is that the drift, every time someone uses drift travel, it pulls something out of this universe to expand the drift universe. So essentially, the drift universe gets larger every time it's used. T also kind of knew a little bit about Triune, specifically that it used to be three separate gods, and that his god, Besmara, is sort of indifferent to him. Besmara is sort of the pirate god. So unless there's some confrontation with ideology, it's typically they're just ignore each other. Raya, as they were kind of like pulling up to Absalon Station to dock, had went to go talk with John to kind of clarify her standing on the whole overthrowing the government, and that she doesn't necessarily want to hold him back from discovering who he is, and offers to go have another conversation with him at the old Galarian for old time's sake. Basically, it was one of those at one point she had like thought that Rejuvener was the one pushing for the governmental overthrow, not realizing.
There's no way I could like think of that on my own and want to like follow through with it. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Definitely not.
This is also where Raya accidentally hits the button to reveal that up until this point, John's room had just been a closet, sort of like Bender style. And she had realized by hitting a button accidentally that he had an entire room that he just doesn't use. And there's like a cabinet and like a laundry basket, and that's about all that's in the main part of the room.
It basically just like stands vertically in a broom closet, essentially.
Right. Having arrived on Absalon Station, Raya, Delilah, and T had went over to the Technomancery. Had got over to the Technomancery school to kind of see if they could parse out some information from the librarian there. T had kind of gone along, but like it was quickly apparent that he wasn't really interested in anything to do with the library. Delilah, and this is where we started to get a little bit of Delilah's back history, so we kind of learned that she grew up in the black market district of Absalon Station and had been stealing like the scrolls from the Technomancery school to sell in the black market, and she basically like learned Technomancery by like reading the scrolls on the trip down to the black market. T sort of interjects at one point before anybody can recognize Delilah and starts going on this whole thing about trying to get advice from the librarian here on how he could handle his Karen form transformation. Despite the librarian iterating multiple times that he's not a doctor and definitely not a mystic, T kept pressing the issue, and which results in him hulking out in the library and breaking one of like the tablets that they had. But the librarian's at least able to give him the name of a mystic sort of guru that might be able to help him with his issues, named Janora, who was last seen in the political district of Absalon Station, but she tends to travel on pilgrimages around the solar system fairly regularly. Having sort of gotten
spiritual and is the vibe like is it a spiritual pilgrimage type of thing?
Sort of. That's more or less what I was giving. Okay. Janora was also given to John ages ago as well. After T had stepped out of the library, Raya tries to like fish out some information on the PWC without really asking about the PWC per se. And the librarian here, Harold, kind of gives her some mundane stuff about taxes and immigration and some unusual droughts, which gets her kind of like keyed in again. But because he doesn't travel and he lives on Absalon Station, he wasn't too focused on the drought, so he didn't give her any more information. Eventually, Delilah is able to convince Raya to try and recruit students to help with finding out swarm signs on planets by bribing them with extra credit. She basically plans on telling them like to just research the unusual activities, but without telling them what it is for. He ends up giving them a list, but mentions that she'll need to talk with the instructors because as a librarian, he's not able to like actually hand out extra credit. It has to come from the teachers. But they kind of don't worry about the plan too much. They're just happy to get this list and feel like they have a plan going forward. So their plan is to just give the list to John and have him email the students with like what their request is. After this, we had cut over to John, who had gone down to the Black Market District to get details on the Inner Circle, despite previously saying that he wasn't going to do anything involving the PWC or Inner Circle until after the swarm threat was done.
It was innocent. I didn't do anything totally compromising.
He initially wants to be able to get like information on potentially stealing their identities, basically trying to get everything. But the cost of that is well outside of his current income. Basically, he was told that it would be like 1 million credits to make that happen. So he ends up settling for just getting the members. So he learns that the leader of the Inner Circle is Asher Vox from the Sun.
The Sun.
Jade Doe from Avalon is on the Inner Circle. Ronan Steele from Akaton, and Lyra Quintar from Eox, and Isuda from Liavara
were the members of the Inner Circle. And basically, he come to conclusion he was going to have to talk with Kumara Melacruz to get any more details. And that's where we left off on session 19. Now, our last session was a little bit more intimate with a focus on John and Delilah's dealings. And it kind of started out with a little bit of a shopping and like selling sort of section. John had ended up going in trying to finally maximize on his integrated follow-through feat that he has. So he was looking for integrated weapons and realized he was going to need some more upgrade slots to make that happen.
Yeah.
So he ends up settling for purchasing some upgraded armor, which was a pretty good upgrade as far as that goes. And lucky for him, because he's been accumulating gear from dungeon crawling up until this point, he was able to basically like break even after he'd sold all of his stuff.
Well, it's nice to like forget about the stuff that's in your inventory until you need to sell everything. Yeah. I literally made like 2,000 gold just by like giving them all my shit.
After all the purchases and sales, the parley finally reconvenes, and we're assuming this is after John and Raya's conversation with the old Galarian. Raya, we will circle back to that at the start of the session. John and Delilah basically kind of like start walking through the station, and John uses this as kind of like an opportunity to start heading towards the Black Market District. Basically, he's like trying to end up at the Black Market District innocently, without any like motives per se. And during their conversation, he eventually caves and reveals that he went down to the Black Market District to pursue overthrowing the government, and is basically wondering if Delilah would like be willing to assist since she already has some contacts down there. Basically, she says that she's not opposed of getting more information on the Inner Circle, but she doesn't want to go behind Raya's back. So they have to tell Raya the next time they see her. So they're still going to go do the things without consulting Raya first, but they'll just tell Raya once they see her next.
That was the topic.
Before they end up making it down to the Black Market District, though, Johnny kind of filled her in on what he had already gotten, and they both kind of come to the conclusion they need to talk with the Premax first, to kind of like consult with her on what additional things they can get. After waiting about an hour in the waiting room, they're able to kind of get called back, and John immediately goes down the rabbit hole of his like political conspiracy stuff, which Kumar kind of pulls out that they probably should have these conversations in a more secure room as she locks it down, so that it's more private. So there could have potentially been a leak showing that they were talking about the Inner Circle prior to the lockdown, but Kumar was fairly quick on the trigger on locking it down. During the conversation, they learn that Isuda is focused on keeping Liavara as a protectorate and keeping mining from occurring on the planet. And Liavara, for those that don't remember, is kind of like Saturn, so it's like a big gaseous planet. So the creatures that live there are called dreamers, and they look like these sort of like brain blob sort of like creatures. So they like float through the gas, so they don't want people mining and ruining sort of the environment they live in. The Oxian Lyra strives to keep necromancy legal for her planet. Jade Doe is a big proponent for android equality as well as fully sentient robots. Ronan Steele was one of the ones that's harder to gauge what his motives are. Really, the only thing that you have on him is that he comes from the harsh environment of Akaton, which is like where Mars would be, so it's the red planet. Asher Vox, the leader of the group, is even harder to gauge because he comes from high society. Basically, anybody that lives on the sun is like really, really high up as far as like social standing in the solar system. So they don't necessarily have a good reason why he leads the Inner Circle aside from
him being a Solarian, basically.
Yeah, maybe that, or just him being incredibly wealthy already. That's really all you have on him. John then kind of asks if it's possible to go to the sun, where he gets reminded that the sun is definitely a place you could travel to. It has sort of like tunnels that allow you to go into the center, because like the actual sun's cities are like these desperate city structures that have like connecting force fields between them. But everybody might look a little out of place because it is higher society. unless you fit the part, you'll kind of stick out a little bit. But because it is a recognized section of the solar system, it is definitely one that you guys can travel to if you so chose. As they kind of continue down this conversation, Kumara eventually kind of points out that, like, while she's not opposed of, like, trying to figure out more on the inner circle and what's going on, but she does recommend being very cautious that these aren't just politicians. All of the members of the inner circle are world-renowned in their own regard. So you learn that Asher Vox is a Solarian, Jade Doe is a well-known operative, Ronan Steele is a soldier, Lyra is a mystic that focuses on necromancy, and Isuda is a witch warper. And she kind of points out that Isuda might be part of the reason why the inner circle has been doing some of the things that they have, because witch warpers can see and pull from alternate realities. So the thought process is Isuda's probably already seen how multiple ways this is played out with the swarm, and is picking a route based on that. Kind of getting all of this, like, info dump and just kind of like everything, Delilah had recommended going down to the bars to kind of drink their worries away, although she had an ulterior motive of kind of like doing some espionage and like trying to overhear conversations and get some more information while they're down there. We also learned during this sort of like bar hop sequence that androids and robots can get drunk, but they insert a chip that basically will track the alcohol content in their system and then make their operating system react to the intoxication
or at
levels.
least simulate.
Yeah, or simulate, yeah. So John decides to partake because he's never done it before. The first bar is owned by Lenny, a modded dishwasher. Basically, he's like got all these aftermarket mods, so he's got like an LCD screen and everything, but essentially he's just like a old looking dishwasher.
Remind me of like robots.
In this first bar, they hear some folks talking about a job on Castrovel where they were hired to cover up the existence of the swarm. Feeling like this might be a good lead, Delilah had made some improv to sort of tracking devices in the bathroom that she tags on one of them so that they can track them later. Since it's still early in the night, they decide to kind of head to another bar where they go to the real old Galarian where they find some moonshine. We learn a little bit more about Delilah's back history during this because she reveals that her parents went missing, so she doesn't really know what happens to them, and she's been on the streets since then in the Black Market District. John sort of recommends that she shouldn't really go looking for the answer because it's kind of been shit since he learned that Rejuvenor was his brother.
I went looking for my family and it ruined me.
At this bar, they learn that Asher Vox has been tightening down on his security, and Lyra has went back to Eox following an increase on necromancy permitted on the planet. So basically, they get an increase on how many undead could be raised on the planet, and she's gone back to assist with raising them. Following this bit of information, they had headed to another bar, which is a little bit more up class, where a lot of the higher end deals are coordinated. Delilah's kind of a regular here, getting like her pretty girl drink. She, in sort of like working her way through the tables, had overheard that there's shipyards being set up somewhere with a fleet being on schedule. Not having context, she decides to do a little bit more digging, or at least trying to get a tracker on there, because they can't. The context she gets, it seems that it's like an attack fleet and not necessarily an Exodus vessel, which is what they assumed originally. She gets her tracker upgraded with little issue, but when she goes to put it on, the person at the table turns around, recognizing her, so she's able to play it off. This is someone that's contracted her before on a previous dealing, specifically one where she was tasked with stealing some technomancery scrolls that ended up going to Rejuvenor whenever he was still on the space station.
It's all connected.
During this conversation, essentially they set up a meeting at the Copper Onion in 2 days' time to potentially get her back into the swing of being down here in the black market of like getting information or doing jobs. Feeling like they had pressed their luck a little too much, they decided to go back to the ship, where Agnes kind of informs it that they could have pulled the chip out and reset John at any point, because John had started to like spiral into like the drunk paranoia, especially because he's not built for like stealth or spy work. So like it was kind of hectic for both of them because it constantly felt like Delilah's cover was going to be blown simply because John was with her. And the session had ended with a kind of a nice moment between John and Delilah where he had complimented her on her skill sets, and then Delilah went over to make a garbage plate before bed. So we will be picking up the following morning, but before that, we're going to kind of go back in time very briefly to Raya and John meeting at the Old Galarian to have that conversation that you had wanted to have, Raya.
Yeah.
So it is right around like noonish. The Old Galarian looks just like you guys have had, where it's like that old like family diner sort of thing with Greek food. But outside of that, the floor is yours.
Hey, Peppercini, I want the usual. Whether or not that's the guy's name, I'll flag somebody down as we sit.
Of course, John. We'll make it happen.
Thank you. You'll see, Riot. Though you've seen my new armor, it's like red and whatnot. I recently just got it shined, a little bit of a waxing, so to speak. So looking pretty fly as I sit down, grabbing a seat.
Nice polish you have there.
Yes, it's pretty shiny. I'm really about it. I think it makes my guns look good. Ha ha ha. And I'll show you that, like, oh wait, I didn't get my gun integrated. I need upgrades for that, right?
You needed to get an integrated weapon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, you're going to be paying for this, right?
Sure, I'll pay for it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Perfect.
Of course. I'm nervously just like moving stuff around on the table and like reorganizing it awkwardly.
John doesn't really pick up on this. So, what is it that you wanted to talk about?
I wanted to talk about the conversation we had about throwing. And I try and like get close and like whisper and kind of look around and talk about overthrowing the government.
Yeah, something about the PWC. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see, like, I'll turn down the volume of my voice, and you see, like on the iPhone, like, the dots lower a little bit. So,
I'm trying to pick... Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. By all means.
I just wanted to make sure that you're thoroughly thinking about what it is you're trying to do.
The idea has a lot of weight. I recognize this. In fact, the second I decided that this might be a path I would like to explore, realized a huge undertaking, and it is not just going to be as simple as talking it out. It's so much is going to need to be involved. We'll need allies, and honestly, I am feeling a little bit radicalized. However, the swarm threat must be taken care of, at the very least, before tackling such things.
I just think ever since your brother joined the team, I fear that he might be rubbing off on you compared to how we started this mission and where we're heading. I understand the gravity of making sure that the swarm doesn't completely take over, but overthrowing the PWC might not be the best solution.
I just fear that in this galaxy there are a small table of elite, a very small percentage of the entire population of the galaxy itself, and I feel they are not making good decisions in the best interest of all, if not just themselves. It's hard. If it makes you feel any better, Juvenor, although didn't necessarily say no, wasn't initially gunning to take down the government. Our paths are not aligned as much as I hoped they might be.
Our pal is a long-lost brother, a creature that likes to collect things, a captain who it probably has many forewanted people looking for him in all sorts of galaxies, a robot, and a historian. Do you think we are really the ones that are supposed to, like we're the ones that can make proper decisions versus the actual PWC?
No, but I do believe we can be the first domino in a very long and potentially convoluted line. Like I said, we will need allies. Maybe like something like getting the free captains on our side. Their relationship with the PWC already is hairy at best. And who else knows? Maybe there are others we could find for our cause. Like I said, there's so much to do. It almost makes me want to give up already, but I just feel so convicted.
I lean back in my chair. We also have to think about if we team up with the three captains, we also take on their enemies as well.
Yes, and I'm sure by throwing over the government, we will make many more enemies. But it will be for the greater good. Wow,
Okay.
Isn't this really good? And you see that John has a hatch that kind of opens, and he just like slides his plate of food into it, and it like then closes.
Meanwhile, I'm just like playing around with my food as I'm listening to you talk. I haven't even touched it or anything.
Yes, you've barely touched your Salisbury steak.
Well, I kind of lose my appetite when I'm talking about joining the free captains of all people and overthrowing the government. But you know what, John? I see the passion that you have to protect people and want to save them. So, okay, I will try and help as much as I can because the most important thing to me is to make sure that my people survive and the planet has the best chance of survival, but that we also rescue everyone else across the galaxy.
Yes, and if it's for any level of consolation, I will concede that if there is a safer, less compromising way of overthrowing the government, I am open to such routes. And maybe my mind can be changed. Maybe we will learn that the inner circle does have altruistic views. But time will tell.
it's gonna be kind of hard if we decide, or at least that we make it known, like a public statement that we're overthrowing the PWC. It'll be hard to backtrack that if we end up being wrong.
That's why we build up as much of a case and find the catalyst point, and after which point in events, maybe it will give us one direction or the other. I'm okay with holding our cards close to our chest until we're ready to reveal aces and kings and whatever is good about that.
Okay. All right. We're in. And this is like my first time actually taking a bite out of my meal.
I'll just give you like a very robotic thumbs up and like a slight wink of the eye. Trust me, I will not become a terrorist overnight.
Oh my God.
At least a week.
At least, yeah, at least 7 to 10 business days.
You gotta download that patch.
Yeah. It's gonna take a while to like upload and whatnot. So I mean, I'll just kind of enjoy the rest of the,
Okay, Raya and T, you guys, as far as timeline, are about a day behind where Delilah and John are. Is there anything in particular you were wanting to do during this day on Absalon Station?
Potentially see if what's homegirl's name?
Janora?
If Janora's here.
Yeah, so we had left out that Janora, your last sort of known location was that she was currently up in the political district.
Mm-hmm.
Are you heading that way?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And this would be similar to when John and Delilah went up there, is as soon as you come out of the elevator on this, and for context, Absalon Station is basically like a sort of like spire sort of structure.
Apartment building, essentially.
So there's like a central elevator that just goes up to all the different levels, and the political district's towards the top. As soon as you come out of the elevator, they're immediately asking you what you want. You indicate that you're looking for Janora, and basically they direct you that you might have to wait a couple hours because there is a decent line waiting to commune with her before she makes her way out. Her next stop is to head out to Castrovale because there's a lot of whisperings of people in need, so she's heading that way to kind of help those that have been struggling over the last few weeks. If you're willing to wait it out, basically it's kind of like, think of it as like there's like this line leading up to like this like shrine essentially.
And people want their babies kissed and stuff?
Yeah, it's just kind of like when you go to meet the Pope. So it's
Right.
like this long line to do that. So I'd say it's about 2 hours in this line before you finally get up there.
T was.
You want to try and cut?
Okay. Using my smuggling skill of like scoping out like a good target for someone that has the maybe it looks like they're not from around here, or maybe they don't have like a whole lot of like confidence just from a glance. Could I see if I could find a particular
Are there any
person?
vulnerable targets?
Yeah.
Give me a smuggling roll.
Can you? Oh, hold on. Never mind.
I can move this thing.
No, I roll on the website.
And it does the math for him. And some of his numbers are starting to get big.
Speaking of, 26.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
One of the easiest targets is about halfway up the current line. And you think you could pull off convincing them that you're an old friend. Because they have like it looks like they've retired from the Free Captains because they have like a jacket that has the Free Captains emblem on it. So you think you could probably pull it off. You definitely don't recognize this person from whenever you were in, but you know that you could kind of pull that off. There's a little bit further up. There's another one that you do recognize, but it's kind of like a 50-50 shot, just because the last time you interacted with them, it was in a bar fight, and you were on opposite sides of the fight. But up until that point, you guys had been mostly amiable. It's a lizard folk, one of the Vesk. So he's kind of like a bigger, burlier guy. And as you're kind of like thinking back on the bar fight, you had called him small and insignificant, and that is what had led to the fight to start.
Yeah, I think we'll let's go to the retired free captain.
Okay, this guy's he's a gnome with like a white beard, and the jacket's a little bit bigger, so you're definitely feeling like you can pull this off because you think you could call him out for not actually being part of the free captains if he doesn't like buy into you being close friends. Because it almost looks like it doesn't fit, and he's like trying to take some like stolen valor type dealio.
I'll kind of walk up past and like purposely, like, I mean, no, my elbow will kind of smack his shoulder. My apologies. I don't know if I know you from somewhere, but that emblem, look what I've got.
Oh, you must be some of the newer crowd.
Well, retired, but my skills were so. Well, needless to say, I'm back in charge.
Oh. Well, Lavada had been in charge for like the last 3 or 4 years. It must be a recent promotion.
That's a long story, but we know way back. I just saw that you were here in line, and I figured we could talk about the glory days.
Perfect. Give me a diplomacy check. Basically, just to see how much you convince him, because I don't think you can fail this roll.
20?
20?
Yeah.
Because he's got like a plus 13 in diplomacy.
Yeah, smuggling and diplomacy is
It's one of those, like, as soon as you start talking about the glory days, his eyes sort of light up, and he's giving you stuff from even before you were in the free captains. But it's one of those, because the conversation runs for pretty much this entire hour, the line is steadily moving without
so you're just like talking to him in line.
That's planned.
Perfect.
And once we get up to like the front of the line, I'm like, "Oh, you go ahead." And I'll just stay back.
And it turns out like what he wanted was basically like just thanking the mystic for healing him. It turns out like one of the stories that he'd given you was that like he had part of the reason why he had retired is he had ended up suffering an injury, and he was one of the assisting vessels at the fall of the Conquistador. So he's one of the vessels that came in to help after you guys had sent out the distress beacon, and he had been in engineering, and the ship had like taken a decent amount of damage, and it had like messed up his leg, and Janora had helped heal him on Octurne and everything, and he was thanking her for that.
T holds a face of zero remorse. Like what? Yeah.
Now, to be fair, there wouldn't really be a reason, because you were on Free Captain's business, and you got ambushed. So the distress signal was really the only option you had. So him coming to assist you is part of the gig, essentially.
Yeah. As far as seeing who to put for blame, I mean, you signed up for a dangerous mission.
Oh no, it was part of the fun. It just sucks that it's when you take shrapnel to the knee, it kind of ends your career forever.
I took shrapnel to the knee once.
But T will just try to close out the conversation cordially and just mention casually that I'm forming up another crew to spread the word around if he still has friends that are.
Well, I'll keep an lookout. A lot of my pals, they went to go retire in El Dorado, so uh, which I hear is a great scene. I don't know if you've heard it.
It really is. I was actually just there the other day. I consider retirement myself. In fact, I may have wanted to die peacefully there.
Well,
Why lie about that?
I mean, I'll take another first-hand experience as like a likely reason to go there. So, thank you.
The nervous beat of sweat will go down like, oh, would you look at that? It's my turn.
Janora kind of has at this point, she's got like a white sort of monk robe.
Okay.
She is a human, with and completely shaved head, sort of kind of like the ancient one, sort of vibe. Yeah. She's African American, so it's kind of like a really prominent pop with the white robe because of that. But
This is a very powerful figure.
as far as mystics go, this is like, at least in this solar system, this is like the most enlightened of mystics. What is it I can help you with, my dear child?
I am new to the Order. I've spent my entire life serving the Free Captains. Upon a failing of mine, sought out mysticism to see if I could find out the own mysteries of my own mind and help the world in other ways. But it seems that my mind has been plagued, whether through my own action or my own regrets. But seemingly uncontrollably, I've been entering a form or stasis where I almost change physically and mentally, almost as if an alter ego.
Prior to becoming a mystic,
I would assume around the same time when I started noticing mystic abilities.
is there a part of yourself that you try to keep beneath the surface? Something that's maybe you aspired to be growing up that isn't really you, that you keep hidden away?
Oh, I suppose. I might have to do some self-reflection.
Because it seems like you're talking about the Karen form.
Yes.
But the Karen form in itself, usually most users are still in full control. It is it will maximize inner strength and exude it outwards to allow you to go beyond the bounds that you normally have. You know, if you could only lift 100 pounds, now you can lift 200. If someone hitting you would knock you out, you take it like without any sort of reaction. It's maximizing sort of the human potential. But if you're losing yourself in it, that typically implies that where you pull your inner strength is not what you outwardly show to everyone else. So what makes you, whenever you think of like your big, strong, burly version of yourself, it's not actually you, it's something else. And that's more than likely the cause of you not being in control any longer.
I've come to a similar conclusion. But I guess a follow-up question. When I first joined your order, I didn't know. I spent my entire life as a smuggler, and the skill sets are very different. So I just kind of picked what I thought would be useful. being that there is definitely more I need to learn about this transformation I go through with the Terran form, would it be possible to change my mystic connection?
Oh, that may take a little bit of time. It's not unheard of. Part of the reason why I go on these pilgrimages is as you go through the deep connections that are the heart of mysticism, you can kind of tweak the thread to pull down different lines. I've dabbled in all of the different connections at one point or another in my life. So it is possible to go down another connection. If you're wishing to push hard on this, though, I highly recommend researching what all of the connections are so that, let me just say, the strain on the soul, the mind, and the body are extreme. These pilgrimages are not simply just going out and helping those in need. It may be going to Akaton and climbing the highest mountain that they have where it is devoid of oxygen and it ranges from sweltering heat to unbearable cold on a whim. So even just surviving through that can in itself be trying. Those have been the only times really heard of being able to change your connection. Although you can bypass that if you have enough credits. There are technological devices that basically reset you 100%. Meta-wise, there is an item that lets you to reclass completely on a whim.
Oh, interesting.
Expensive, but it exists.
I understand. Well, I appreciate the guidance and at least insight that what I'm going through is potentially not normal, or that I need to do some self-reflection first.
Yes, there's a few that have had it. It doesn't seem to be quite as extreme as your case, where their outward perception of what their Karen form was going to be is not the same as what it actually ended up being. But the not remembering what happened is more than likely tied to some point inward, maybe a alternate personality that you've never let out before.
See. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. If you need me, I will be heading to Castrovel. And after that, I think another trip to Octarn is in order.
For a pilgrimage.
Yes, there's rumblings of a lot of the impoverished settlements outside of the capital having been needing assistance. A lot of them had moved into the capital and were living on the streets. So me and several of the order are heading that way to assist with helping them move back into their settlements.
We were at Casterville, weren't we?
We just came from Cashville. That's
Meta-wise, this is confirming that people know something has gone on Casterville. They aren't privy to it being the Swarm.
right. Yeah, because the PWC and thereby the inner circle, they're like keeping this on like need to know like essentially we have like 30 days until the world ends and no one knows that's even happening. So they're like keeping it all on lock.
The living situation of those in Casterville is dire. Though I think it will be better in the coming days from the actions of, well, myself and my team.
Oh, so you know what has happened on Casterville. I will not pry. The government has been very hush-hush on what it has been. Even someone of my stature hasn't been informed of what is going on, just that there is need for humanitarian aid.
If we're speaking clearly, not delving too deeply on what each other knows, with the sensitivity of the topic, Would this be considered a pilgrimage of sorts, resolving this situation?
I would refer to it as a pilgrimage, but humanitarian aid is more in line with what I'm doing on this one. The trip to Octurne will probably be, because we will be delving down into the Underdark, where the Dark Elves are, to try and...
I guess what I'm trying to ask is, with the pilgrimage, is it just simply the intent behind the trip, or is it a message given to you by Besmara, or...
Well, that's the... Your soul will tell you when you're on the right path.
I see.
It's not tied to religion per se. I know it's very common for the free captains to worship Besmara, but mysticism isn't based into a single god. Mysticism is based on your soul and its connection to the spirit realm.
You've given me a lot to think about. Thank you.
Thank you.
T will walk out without saying a word, not even giving a head nod to the other guy.
Kind of in his own head.
Yeah. That's about all that T is wanting to do. I think he's just going to spend some time reflecting on that conversation.
Perfect.
Lots of stuff there.
All right, Raya, is there anything that you're wanting to get caught up on this day? So this would be the same day that you had the conversation with John. You guys had kind of sort of separated around 1 o'clock. This is when John and Delilah would have went down, would have had the conversation with the Kumara Melacruz and then gone down to the black market. We could retroactively say you were with them if you'd like to, or if you'd like to go do your own thing. That is also on the table.
Are we in the long rest? So would my resolve points technically go back?
Oh yeah, everybody should be full up. We've had like 4 days of non-combat, so...
Okay, just want to make sure I fix my sheet.
Yeah, stamina points reset 100% on a long rest, so everybody's stamina. If you take in any HP, it's your character level every long rest. So, like, you guys are level 6, you get 6 HP back every long rest. And because you guys have had multiple days, I don't think anybody took any HP damage, and even if you did, you would have revived all of it at this point.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I think that I'll separate from John.
Okay.
Only because I would probably still be kind of like in my head of like what it is that we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back to the ship and just go look up some Cthulhu and do a little bit more research and kind of go back to like my end of the world preparing.
Okay.
I guess.
What? No, I'm good.
So you're doing some prep. Are you wanting to do like another training session?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
We'll
go
go
ahead.
back to that.
Go ahead and give me a dex roll. So you just roll with your dex modifier, whatever that is. So D20 plus your dex modifier.
So I have a 15 in my deck. I have a 16 score with a modifier of 3.
So you roll a D20 and you'll add that 3 to it.
Okay, so 18.
Okay.
Nice.
You are feeling that you're making pretty solid progress. Effectively meta-wise, and this will count for you, Tucker, if you can hear me. As you guys are doing these like modifiers, the DC is 15, and you need 15 successful checks to get a ability increase. If you, for every 5 over that you roll whenever you do these checks, it cuts down that requirement. Yeah. Is there anything else you're wanting to do while you're on the ship, or is it more kind of sort of how T is, where you're kind of mulling over the conversations you've had over the last day or two?
I think I'm gonna say I'm gonna mull over because there's really not much I can do until we
Reconvene.
kind of get going. Yeah, and then when Dawn and Delilah come back to the ship. Other than that, I'm kind of just mulling over and trying to look at different angles on what we're like what I just accepted with John, and kind of just like realizing the gravity of like where we're going and what we're doing and risk planning and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. So we'll reconvene this following morning. As you guys are waking up, and we'll kind of go around the table on how things are going, you can hear Agnes in the kitchen cooking again. There's a little bit of like conversation going back and forth. You're not sure who she's talking to. But we'll kind of go around the table with starting with Delilah. Wonder how you be starting off our morning here.
If she's heard the talking in the kitchen, she's curious to go see who Agnes is talking to.
Okay. As you make your way in, you kind of get it is a very good smelling this morning. Kind of getting the feedback that straight pancakes isn't the way to go. She's kind of diversified. So there's some sausage, there's some bacon, there's some eggs. She's got like a hash brown casserole like made. So it's kind of like a very welcoming morning breakfast. And then you see a android that has been conversing. Elite, if you'd like to describe what your character...
Elite. Yeah, once again, there's kitty cats.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm Elite, capital E dash L33T. I am an android.
Cool.
At this point, I'm probably not in my power, I would guess, but I would at least this thermal skin suit thing on.
Okay.
Maybe in the corner, you see there's some power armor that you haven't seen before, because it's mine.
Wow.
Basically, my backstory is when my...
Sorry, I didn't want to distract you. I'll describe this here in a minute.
Basically, all my memories are encrypted, and I don't know anything about my past life. Like, my consciousness was put into a new body, something went bad, everything's encrypted, and I'm like, alright, well, this is kinda...
We are going to be friends.
Yeah.
So what do you look like? Like, is it full on, like,
I didn't get that far, man.
okay, sure.
So,
Where's my
meta-wise, your android is the nanite-based one, so the nanites adjust your descriptors, so, like, whether or not you want to go, like, the sleek, sort of, like, synthetic skin appeal,
okay.
that could be an option, because that's based off of the descriptors associated with how you selected stuff. You have nanites that basically alter stuff on your body at will, essentially.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And basically just mercenary.
Sure.
As you walk in, Delilah, Agnes, and this is what Agnes looks like. So this is the onboard AI for the OMAG, which is the ship that they work on. It stands for Automated General Neural Entry System. Basically is how they decided.
Our version of Cortana, basically.
So she's essentially a blue hologram. One of the options, if you guys ever are interested, as far as like races, is a hardened hologram. So that she's created a hollowed hologram body to interact with John, because it's kind of like John's unofficial girlfriend.
Yeah. We're dating.
But she'll turn around to you, Delilah. Morning, Delilah. This is Elite. He showed up on the doorstep. Someone from the black market had sent him up as a liaison. They wouldn't give the name, but they said they had talked to you at the bar last night.
Oh, okay.
So is the person who sent this, like the guy that I'm supposed to be meeting with in a couple days?
Agnes doesn't know for sure, but it's implied based off of how she described it that he sent another person to meet up with you guys.
Oh, okay.
And since he had been looking for mercenary work, he's just on a job for this guy.
Okay, so he doesn't know. You don't know anything
I
about
don't
it.
But I'm tanky dude. I got you guys.
Okay, great. Well, in a couple of days, we're gonna meet up with this guy, and he'll tell us what to do. I don't really know what we're doing yet. Meet up with him, but right? I don't know yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's about 2 days is when he told you to meet back
Yeah.
at the Copper Onion.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a blue kobold that looks like me, but this one's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get through all the character introductions.
She's a blue kobold, kind of like that. But she also, like, she's a girl, so she, like, tries to be cute. So she has, like, she is wearing leather, but she has rose gold and brass accessories. So she has, like, a cute little sparkly rose gold belt with, like, a halter for her gun and stuff. And basically, if you get a chance to look at her room, you just will find out she's really obsessed with rose gold and brass. She's like a pack rat type thing, so she'll like anything that's shiny, basically, she wants.
Excellent.
Okay. Anybody else heading down to the kitchen at this point?
See you by all means.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
You may or may not have heard of T before. He's renowned for his mercenary work, mostly with smuggling type of jobs, working for the Free Captains. He was a captain for the Free Captains, was removed and then is now reinstated as a captain of the Free Captains.
He chose to leave on a sabbatical.
Yes.
Is that what they call it?
That's what he's called it.
That's what he's called it.
If T were to explain this to you, it'd be a lot different. But as far as what you may know about him, that's
Yeah.
Then he is a Lashunta, kind of. This is my binder there. That's a pretty close picture.
Like Mantis little people.
I was going to say, I think you said you updated character art, but I don't
did.
have it. If you send it to me, I will make sure to get it added in.
I think it might be on my computer at home. But, so at least updated outfit, he's wearing this, very gaudy, like, very much, old, pirate captain style white hat.
Yeah, the tricorn. Yeah.
It's a, stained a little bit. Some parts of it look very clean, but it seems like there are some stains that will never come out from it. And then is wearing kind of like a like similar robe getup, but is more of like a. I'd like to imagine it as white with a Free Captain's insignia. But that's pretty much it. He carries a Titan blade on his hip. That kind of looks like I'd like to imagine it kind of looks like a Forsworn sword. Forsworn sword from Skyrim, right?
Yeah, because I think we said it was like a spike off the back of a bug creature.
But that's pretty much T. Kind of space pirate.
Ryan, you want to jump in with your character?
Yeah, so I am a Lashunta. My profession is a historian, so I'm super really into like books, history. I'm like a history nerd. I specialize in like wanting to maintain culture, wanting to maintain literally just the livelihood of where we came from and how we got here and not persevering, but saving like as much as we possibly can of our past.
Like an anthropologist.
But that also makes. What'd you say?
Like an anthropologist.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't remember what world I'm from.
Castroville.
Castroville. And I'm gonna write that down on my sheet. And I kept the image that Dawn had. So I kind of have these like antennas, and I have this thing on my arm where I keep all my slots for my magic, and yeah, that's really it.
Okay, and then John.
So yeah.
Wait a second.
My name is John Smith, also spelled with capital letters and numbers. I more or less have that look, but I recently have.
He's red.
Yeah, I'm now red. Like
fire engine.
Fire engine red. You know what I'm saying? yeah, took the red one. And so outside of that, yeah, I guess I'm pretty tall. You can see that, like, I like to imagine in my head canon, like, on my chassis is, like, a bunch of, like, buttons and doodads and, like, little lights and whatnot and, like, whatever, but, you can see that, like, strapped along my back, I have a large, long, sort of boom rifle that, looks kind of worn around, like, the muzzle of the gun, but, like, still polished. Who dragged in the new pile of junk? Agnes, did you let him on the ship?
Yes, as I was telling Delilah, an unnamed individual from the Black Market District Cinema said that you guys were supposed to be meeting with him, or at the minimum, Delilah was supposed to be meeting with him for some jobs, and since he was looking for work, he just decided to throw him in with the same schedule.
Oh, so this is the guy?
I guess.
I'm the guy.
Forgive me. Shall we do this the old-fashioned way? And John reaches out a hand.
This is John, our pile of junk.
And he'll reach out a hand, and his fingertip opens up, Inspector Gadget style, and a little USB stick that comes out.
You're like,
Doctrine is not appropriate.
you like shakes your hand.
Yeah, we'll just try to plug in a little bit with the handshake, and just like a bunch of ones and zeros flash over my eyes. It's nice to meet you. I'm a really big fan of that code.
Thanks. All the encrypted stuff?
Yeah, there's a lot of like stuff I tried to access that for some reason wasn't able to. It wasn't anything personal, really. Just
That's okay, I can't access it either, so.
well, that's interesting. What happened to you?
Well, complications at birth. Basically.
Yes, my mother also gave birth to a robot child as well.
Yeah.
For those inclined, give me a physical science check
I am inclined.
to get sort of what he's referring to here.
I am inclined.
I do it too.
I do declare.
16. Although I'm not proficient.
I have a 20.
Oh, yeah, if you weren't proficient. Sorry, if you haven't put a point in, you can't roll physical science, but I think. Would you roll, Ryan?
24.
Mine's stupid. I got like 12.
Okay. Ryan, would you roll?
A 20.
Oh, nice. Nat or dirty?
Dirty.
Okay. Still good, just,
I've just never heard like that.
Well, because you say natural because it's a 20 on the die,
Yeah.
or it's dirty because the number total equals 20, but you didn't.
And it's so bad.
Apparently.
Delilah and Raya, no surprise being technomancers that you are familiar with how androids basically reproduce. So when an android decides to either move on to a new body or just create offspring, they upload their consciousness into a new body. So it's either copying or uploading. So like if they are deciding to move on to their next version of themselves, they completely upload their whole consciousness into a new body. If they're wanting to give birth, they copy. And based off of the way Elite has described it, it was probably a copy, and that might explain why things didn't go quite as planned. So in theory, he should have had all of the memories of his previous life, but he does not.
What if it was on purpose? What if you made yourself forget? What do you know? And my eyes want to squint just a little bit.
John has been very rifling through a lot of controversies of late.
I finally walk into the room.
I don't know. It's all locked.
Raya, this is Elite.
And I also quit my eyes. Agnes, where did this? You have a new robot, Agnes?
There's a new robot on the ship. I don't really possess any robots on the ship. I'm not exactly following that.
Except for me, Agnes, don't forget.
Well, I think you claim me.
We claim each other. Not in front of everybody, Agnes.
Anyways, to answer your question, Raya, he was sent up from some individual down on the black market. There was no name on who sent him, but the individual said that they had talked with Delilah last night about potentially doing jobs. And since Elite here was also looking for jobs and he wasn't really interested in having multiple conversations, he decided to send him up and coordinate with you guys so that it was one conversation instead of multiple.
Yes.
I take off my karate bandana from working on the room today.
Oh, shit!
Who is this guy? I mean, who is this android?
I mean,
I'm Elite. That's it. I get way into the void. I like that stuff. Very interesting.
We have a friend who's very much about that. She's just not here right now. She's taking a sabbatical.
Awesome.
In a way, a little bit due to unforeseen life.
Yeah.
It's, what the heck is that? And I point to your.
I see a master of manipulation of conversation.
I point to your and so this armor, this power suit. Is it is it just like an exoskeleton like Tony Stark Iron Man sort of thing, or is it like a big old Warhammer?
Even
sort of
better.
It is spacer purpose.
It's bug-like. Fuck it. It's like hopping into like a Hercules beetle. Fuck it.
Oh, dude.
If you were like a beastly dude, like Jason Momoa, just like humongous, and then you have the softest, like nicest voice and personality, I'm gonna die. That's hilarious.
So he has power armor that looks like a bug's like exoskeleton. That he's not currently in, but the armor's sitting in the corner. And then he's kind of got like the nanite sort of like android build. So he's a little bit more sleek. I don't know, what build are you going for as far as like going tall and lanky or like
I'm a little bit more tall.
No, dude, be a monster.
I'm more like a solid 5'10".
okay.
But like
Stout?
Solid 5'10".
I want to say
Built like
200 pounds, but I don't know if that's a lot for an android.
Well,
it's probably lighter.
we could say you look like you're 200 pounds, so you look like you're 5'10" and very stout. As far as like android goes, you're mostly metal, so probably yeah. Because I think we've described it like when John jumps down from stuff, it's like it dents in.
Yeah.
I'm not ridiculous, but
built like a gun, what's it called?
I'm not the weakest person you've seen.
Yeah.
I'm like not the strongest.
So he's not
I mean,
rocking like the
you don't roll
bodybuilder.
with shame here.
So he's not doing like the bodybuilder. He's kind of got like it sounds like
Sleeper build.
like a Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
sort of like 5'10", looks pretty like lean and like could probably take most people in a fight.
Cool.
Yeah. I definitely do have my long arm, which I is like an assault rifle.
You've got the
That's,
yeah.
That's
you,
not nice.
you also see if this is okay. On the power armor, there's like a holster for my sword.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Like,
Cool.
And his
and a pistol on
sorry
the hip.
yeah, because you had what the hand cannon, so it's like a fucking house.
changed
Oh, did you end up
that.
changing it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that one made sense to me too because it's like a fucking like shotgun, but it's like one of those where it's like this fucking big for like the
It was nice.
Cheryl's.
It did so much damage.
Yeah.
Then like there's I have a it does cold damage now.
Okay.
And I thought that
Which makes sense because I think you have an integrated weapon on your armor if you choose.
I haven't gotten that.
All right. Well, if everybody's comfortable, we could take a quick 10-15 minute break and then we'll reconvene once Colton's. Yeah. Okay. We've awoken to a disturbance on the OMAG with a new patron on the ship. We have done our introductions, but the floor is your guys's.
So, I have a question for you, Elite. Also, that's a super killer robot name. What was I thinking with John Smith?
It's never too late, man.
No, it's too late. I know too many people.
I know.
Just lose all your memories. You can just start over clean like I did. So.
I know a guy, John.
Oh, I'm sure you do. John will sort of like look to the rest of the group. I will formally introduce you to us all. We are called the Revengers. And
I've read about this book, I think.
never heard of a comic book before. If you plan on sticking around, it's pretty important that you know some things. Who wants to start to tell this guy what the hell's going on?
You'll notice in the corner a little yellow mouse, Yoski at this point as well. That would be Sparks.
Basically, Pikachu.
She's our pilot.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna pilot?
Yes, the best pilot. Yes, she's gotten us out of a lot of hairy situations.
This is peak RP.
This is great. Very nice, very nice. Well, it's good to meet all of you guys. Glad to be here. Well, I don't know where the drive will take me, but I'm glad to meet you guys while I have the opportunity. So.
I will give people the chance to maybe share, but I do just want to say, if you go and travel with us, it is very likely that you could lose your life.
Or something.
Whoa. Now we're talking about letting this android travel with us?
Well,
It's an occupational hazard at this point. I'm kind of used to it.
he's a mercenary for hire at the very least.
He hasn't given us a reason not to trust him. I've dealt with worse.
Lost all the
The eyes haven't gotten red yet.
One is red, one is blue, actually.
How much do you know of the swarm?
What? What's this one?
Okay,
Is it like nanites or something?
essentially imagine a large hive mind like insectoid race that is planning on going to each and every planet in our solar system to suck and absorb all the natural resources and thermal energy that the planet can provide and sequester it to their own machinations. It's a pretty big. You see John hold his language in front of Sparks. It's a pretty big deal and very dangerous. Many of us almost died in our last encounter.
It sounds like a real fun group.
Well, I guess if you don't remember anything, you have nothing to lose.
He gets a thumbs Fair enough. Are you guys trying to stop these guys or something?
Yes, we have approximately 26 days.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It was 2 months. You guys have about 57 days
You
left.
said approximately.
Special safety show coming back.
Yes, God.
About 50 days, huh? That's not a lot of days.
In fact, that's not even enough days to get benefits from a new job.
No, it's not. That's what I had.
And we don't really know what to do about it. Hoping you would know, but apparently you have no memories. So
Have we tried mass murder?
I mean,
It's complicated.
it's been brought up, but Ryan does not like the idea.
I mean, if somebody's trying to kill you, you kill them first.
Yes, but
I like this guy.
Cookie, dude.
Bro, calm down.
Okay. Well, as far as we've all sort of flirted with the idea, but we need a way to defeat the oncoming storm. We need to go talk to Levada. Levada.
Cadaver?
I think you mean Levada Notley, John.
Yes.
But his arrival came with something about you guys meeting someone down in the black market in 2 days.
Yes. Right.
Not that we can't just blow that off, but
Yeah, we have a day at least then.
Where do the free captains hang out in the asteroid belt?
yeah, Dysphoria is what it's called. But yeah,
Okay. Maybe we shouldn't leave until we've dealt with.
We deal with our business here, and then we stop on the way. Gonna see where we go from there.
do you care to enlighten us on what this business is? Because it's all very
You know, I don't
hush
know.
hush. Only Delilah was mentioned whenever they came up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it should be about. Riot, you see a bead of oil drip down the side of his face, and you can tell that he seems to not be totally honest.
Quick
I
question.
don't even notice.
Oh,
I don't even notice because I'm still sitting down eating like eggs and pancakes, staring at you eat.
The guy that I'm meeting up with, do I know what he wants me to? We don't know what he wants me to do yet.
You and him had both discussed just him getting together a list of jobs for you.
Okay.
So at that point in time, he didn't have a list of jobs. The meeting is for him to give you potential jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Raya, you may be mad at John and I, but I need you to just let us get through what we have to say, okay? So, we've decided that we don't want to overthrow the PWC, But we do.
Well,
I have decided that, I guess. John, we're still convincing. But we do think it'd be beneficial for all of us to find out as much information from them as possible, and then we decide as a group what we do with said information. And we are being careful. John was trying to do it on his own, and this is why, Raya, I have joined him, because we know that he's just going to blow our cover. So, we've gone down to the black market, because that's where I grew up, and I've been speaking to everybody that I know, and we're trying to just figure out, innocently, anything we can about the PWC. And I ran into somebody I used to do jobs for, and he offered to give me more jobs, and I don't know what they are yet, but I don't know. I just want to, if I get more involved in the space, I feel like maybe we can figure out what's going on a little more.
it's okay because Delilah is involved now.
Yes, all my actions are absolved from any guilt or wrongdoing.
So I like crazily look at Delilah and look over at John.
Wait, before you say anything, and I'll like R2D2 style, like plug into like the kitchen table and sort of like maybe produce like a hologram of all the info I learned as far as the inner circle goes and whatnot.
Yeah. What this looks like is like a VHS, like whenever you plug it in, so it's got like the like rippling of like every once in a while.
And it's like a soap opera at first. Oh, sorry, I meant to record over this a little bit. And I'll like fast forward through all this melodramatic Doctor Galaxy stuff.
Once he gets caught up, it's from John's point of perspective of the entire evening.
And you can hear me breathing.
First person camera.
There's like even a sequence later on whenever like he's trying to like he's supposed to not be staring at the people that Delilah is talking to him about, but his body's turned this way and his head's the other way. So like you can see the people as he's staring and they're like, oh, I meant not that way, and like
Oh my god.
I also like
and then there's a point later on where he's like, the room is spinning and you can see that his head is just spinning.
Right, you see why he couldn't do this alone?
I take a deep breath. Did you find anything out?
Over this recording, you get basically that entire recap we started with at the beginning of the session. So some of the big talking points were you learn that they're basically building attack fleets on an unknown planet, and that construction is going well, at least at the moment. You know that Asher Vox has tightened down on his security, both physical and like cyber, so that it's hard to get any information on him currently. You also know that Lyra, the Eoxian representative, has gotten a bill passed to increase necromancy on Eox, and that she's traveled back to her homeworld. And he was also kind enough to have the Kumara stuff in there, so you're aware that Kumara had speculation of the members of the Inner Circle, and that they all seem to be on the same wavelength when it comes to passing stuff, and gave you tidbits of like their motivations for why they could be on the Inner Circle, with Ronan Steele and Asher Vox being the kind of outliers of like there's not clear motivations outside of maybe being power hungry.
Yeah, Asher Vox is basically the galactic president of the United States.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually pretty informative.
Yes.
So you went and talked to this black market, and then we ended up with a random android on our ship that is apparently a mercenary.
I'm a good guy for sure.
Let it be known that I think most of us are mercenaries.
Yes.
So...
I mean, T and I, that's how we met. We did mercenary work. I guess we shouldn't be racially profiling this guy because he's a mercenary.
This group's foundation is built upon mercenary work.
So me being a historian, I awkwardly like, yeah, okay. You're right.
Go down in history making mercenary work okay.
Yeah, even meta-wise, the two members that aren't here tonight One of them for sure is a mercenary because he's part of the free captains, and the other one was hired by the PWC to come assist you as well. So
I'm like that younger kid that's like finally hanging out with their older siblings. At school, like I'm trying to be so cool and be like, yeah, this is a normal thing. You're right. I shouldn't have said anything. Okay, so what's the plan now? Do we go back to the dark corners, or what do we do for this job?
So we don't have the job yet,
We'll find out tomorrow.
or in 2 days. We're gonna meet with him, and he's gonna give us a list of jobs. And I'm hoping by depending on the list of jobs, it might give us an idea of what's going on. Like, because we already know there's like some sort of fleet somewhere. So then, like, if all the jobs are in that area, kind of gives us an idea something's going on there. So I don't know what the jobs he'll give us, but depending on what we find out, we could probably take a job that seems like it might point us in the right direction.
Yes,
Okay.
and then after we get a potential job and a direction to go, we can talk to Shanty's situationship, Lavada Ubla.
you hear Agnes in the background. Hot lady. She goes by Asteray.
T1.
So I think moving forward, all need to be on the same page if we're really going to do this.
Yes.
Wherever
John,
we
that
end
means
up.
mostly you.
Oh.
I agree. Now, I don't know if we need to like install cameras on John that we can watch, because I don't think we can trust him.
That feels like a huge invasion of privacy.
You see Agnes pull up a data pad and write that note down.
Speaking of situation.
Meanwhile, I'm just side-eyeing Elite and just being like,
Can I help you? You seem like a deeply mistrusting person, and it's okay, but anything I can do for you? Or?
The one thing you will notice, if it hasn't been cleared through RP at this point, is Elite is not talking in broken, like, robotic speech. He sounds like a normal person, so, like, he fits the build for, like, a normal android.
Yes.
I still don't trust him.
She's like, I actually trust him less now.
No one's that normal.
Yeah. Who are you trying to deceive?
I know.
Yeah, we all...
Sunny was my favorite character, so... Okay. As I'm refilling, are you guys wanting... you can continue this conversation. Are you guys wanting to potentially time skip through these 2 days leading into the conversation?
Yeah, but I think that's where we're trying to lean forward. I do want to have a private conversation with Elite in that span of 2 days.
Okay. Is there a particular setting you're looking for?
I'll take him to the holodeck.
Perfect.
We have a holodeck.
What? Is that the room that changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can program it to be what you want. I'm sure...
if you're familiar with that extension.
Star Trek, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or Star Trek.
Do we have an extra room for him? With our
Holodeck.
Wherever, man.
Well,
Um,
I'm sure we have
He can
bunks.
be-
Maybe
he
not
can be in his
another room.
closet.
We have a closet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have a whole room.
we can say that for now. Kind of meta-wise, as we described the ship, is it grows with you guys, so it might not have... At a minimum, there's like a common area for the not main crew, so like where Hargrove, Grim Reaper Tides, and
Sexy boy.
Oscar...
Oh.
Or maybe that was Oscar.
That's not
I don't know.
right.
There's 3 of them that are from the previous Conquistador crew that are in like the common area dormitories.
Ship.
Oh, okay.
So he can stay there, but if John's inclined over the next couple days of knowing Elite, he may have him as a bunking partner.
Yeah. Like this, I sleep in the closet, so there's lots of room in
The actual
back.
room. Is there something you're wanting to set the holodeck for?
the holodeck. We'll set it to like maybe like a 1920s. Is this whiskey?
This is the grape wine.
Oh.
So regular wine, but white.
Oh my gosh. What kind is this?
It's just straight. This is white grapes off of our wine.
That is. So, do you want to try it?
No.
That's really good, dude. It tastes like white grape.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's like if it was bubbly, it almost tastes like the whatchamacallits.
Yeah. And I got distracted while you were describing what you wanted with the holodeck because I also drink.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, exactly.
You say you wanted like.
We'll do like a 1920s study. We'll have there'll be like a grand sort of hearth, and above the hearth, like a space lion's head will be mounted. But to make it a space lion, maybe it has like
a cybernetic eye.
Yeah, or like maybe like 3 eyeballs or something.
You're going like with a vibe similar to like your home.
Yes, very much. Oh, yeah, that's a perfect example. We'll use the parlor of my
home right now.
So
we'll do the parlor.
Essentially, he's the Baron of an atoll on a different planet.
Yeah.
So he has like a Victorian style house. So it looks similar to like that, where it's got like this fireplace with this huge mantle. Described as we had it. It sounds like he doesn't want it to look like his house per se, but like
same vibe, more or less. Please sit down, and I'll sit like on the leather couch, and it'll kind of. That wasn't me, I swear. It was the chair, and I'll try to repeat the sound.
It does not. Alright, we're gonna move on.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I just wanted to.
Holodeck is pretty sweet.
Yes, it's one of the coolest features of this ship.
Yeah.
I had just a couple of questions for you because you and I are much alike. I too could not remember my past life, but I do not think it was for similar reasons. And I guess, where are you at with that? Do you wonder?
I mean, it's been about a year. I've played for about a year. I've been mercenary and stuff the entire time. Like it would be cool, but at this point, it's like, whatever. If I get into it, it's cool. If I don't, I've kind of like the life I've built. Continue. So.
Are you worried that if you were ever to find out your past, it would conflict terribly with your current life?
Are you projecting on me?
You see John kind of like look out into the fake projector.
Sorry, I forgot to turn that off.
I was literally projecting light on you from my eyeballs. Light turns off.
Oh man.
Two robots. Maybe I am a little bit. I'm only asking because finding out, trying to figure out my past life brought a lot more information and mixed emotions than I thought would be. And now I am at the point where I'm still trying to decide if I regret that or not. And I see myself in you. We might as well have come from the same motherboard, if you know what I mean.
Nice.
Yes, I have a lot of them.
Yeah, that's good, dude. I'm sorry. It seems like you've had a pretty tough time.
That's tough, buddy.
Yeah,
That's tough, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess there's always a little bit of fear. I guess, but I'm like, I don't know. At this point, I don't think I'm ever gonna figure out anyway. So,
What have you tried?
well, it's all encrypted. So I've tried to like go to
Different
some
docs.
hackers and people, and,
And nobody?
Nobody's been able to crack it. So.
Can I take a closer look? I'm not trying to necessarily decrypt it, but can I get a better understanding of like his sort of like, or would that the role from earlier be suffice enough?
If you're wanting to get into the weeds of like what's specifically going on internally, if he's consenting to allow you to hook up, then you could give me another computer's, or give me a computer's check to see how well you're able to discern.
We've got some technomancers, right?
Yeah,
as well.
We're not.
John should be good at this as well, I think.
I'm relatively pretty good.
But the big thing I would say is it's consent,
Yeah.
because basically you're needing to get into his operating system.
Yeah. So I cannot make necessarily any promises, but I am awfully curious, and I also will say before you answer this question, it is very respectable that you seem to have accepted where you are at. You will have to tell me how you are able to come to such lengths to be able to do that. But if you don't mind, maybe I could take a look under the hood.
Show me mine and I'll show you.
Appreciate it, buddy. Maybe another time.
Right. Yes, of course. Well, you will love the OMAG. It will take care of you.
Excellent. It's a nice ship.
Yes. Well, good day. And I'll leave the holodeck.
You have both reminded me between that conversation that I haven't fully described the ship that you guys have been walking around on. So
It's
the
fucking bad. Like the Fortress of Solitude, basically. But
so the OMAG, if you're familiar with if you've watched Stargate, how it uses like crystals for like all of its technology and stuff. So the OMAG is a crystalline living creature. So it grows over time, and
like
it's
rock candy.
and it's kind of like a bluish hue crystalline structure for it. So like all of like the walls and stuff like that have like sort of like geodes coming out with like bluish crystals. They will kind of like hum a little bit. So you can, as you over the next couple days, as you've interacted with the ship a little bit more, you've realized that like if it seems like the ship's in a good mood, there's like a warmer glow throughout it. The only place where it looks a little bit different is engineering, and it's the color of the engine itself has caused it to look a little bit different, because if I'm not mistaken, you guys have a pulse orange engine now.
Yeah.
So like the engineering room's the only place where it looks slightly different, and it's because the pulse engine orange is causing it to like look a little bit more
Like a red
orange.
room almost.
Yeah. Also, over these days, you'll meet the rest of the crew.
Oh yeah.
So another PC that's not currently at the table is Glarb, who's a member of the Free Captains. He is a
Space work.
space orc. You've got Nia, who is a human. I don't have a picture for her because she's still debating on her character art. The big discerning feature is she has, I think it's a painted on third eye, which is kind of a callback to like her affiliation. This is what Sparks looks like, just kind of being a yellow mouse. The members of the old Conquistador crew, I guess now part of the Revengers. So you have Philomeno Fuming Zeph, who is a Volacarasu, which is another insectoid creature. You have John's Nyack, so this is John's creature from his homeworld. Essentially, it has like tentacle things, and it'll latch on, and it basically infects its victims with a virus that makes the victim feel euphoria. So basically, it's like a high level narcotic, and it will feed off the individual for years. Basically, when it's in this euphoric state, his family got money. So basically, they're in the whiskey and drug business because they basically siphon off the qua, which is like the blood that's infused with the virus,
The neurotoxin.
and sell that. Which
Deadly
so basically
neurotoxin.
they basically sell a high level narcotic and whiskey, which is why he's so wealthy and everything.
That'll do it.
Yeah. T's old second mate, Hargrove Devil's Charms Mace, is a sexy Lashunta.
Yeah, there he is. There's that guy.
Yeah, like the Legolas of the Lashuntas, yeah. And then Oscar Grim Reaper Tides is a Thormian, so he's kind of like an ant-like creature. John's brother, Rejuvenor, who, so you haven't got into his backstory, but John used to be of this race, where they're kind of like longer legs and arms than normal, and it's black beady eyes. He's a technomancer, so he actually has quite a few cybernetic parts. So he has cybernetic eyes, cybernetic arm, and I want to say his legs were cybernetic, if not mistaken. The last member is one that they picked up quite a while ago, back when they went on Avalon, is Tuske. She's a nanocyte, so she's been infected with a nanocyte infection, so her body is slowly being overtaken by nanocytes, but it gives her quite a few abilities associated with that. So that is the current crew of the OMAG.
Very fun.
You got a picture of the OMAG? So I know we've been using this mini for it, but...
Yeah, so the most recent one, I know you said you were wanting to draw your own interpretation of it as well.
Yeah, I have. Yes, dude.
So the OMAG is similar to this as far as like appearance.
Oh, that's cool.
Super badass, dude. What does OMAD stand for again?
You guys kind of went with the concept of oh my god, but you didn't want to do oh my god, so you did OMAG.
Oh, that's right. OMG. Oh, right. OMAG.
Wow.
What a world.
Is anybody else wanting to do anything over this 2-day period? So it's basically 2 full days because you guys are meeting at the Copper Onion in the evening.
I mostly just explore the ship.
Perfect. Yeah, so you'll find the Nyack kind of has made a nest up in engineering, so it's like in the rafters of the engineering room. Everybody had the main party has like their own individual rooms, unless they kind of invite you in. You're not privy to like the inner workings of that. Pretty standard, sort of like Star Trek bridge. Captain's seat, science officer, weapons officer. There's a pilot chair, the captain's chair, and then like some other consoles, but pretty standard as far as that setup. There's a common area where you guys have been meeting for breakfast. This is where you started, which has a big table and then some like side chairs and like a kitchenette. There's the hollow room. You also have like a bar sort of area, like the recreation room, where there's like a bar and like some like lounging area. At the bar is an animatronic sort of like half body.
Oh, yeah.
The guy is named Jimmy Two Shoes that like slides up and down the bar. And it's funny that he's called Jimmy Two Shoes because it's literally just the torso up. And I think the only other thing that they've got in addition recently is they have acquired a shuttle. So there's also a shuttle that's docked.
Yeah, we have like a what's it called? The evacuation.
You could call it an escape pod. This is actually a step up from that because like you can fly it individually if you choose.
Right. That's right.
But that's the general overview of the ship.
Very nice ship you guys got.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty sweet, actually.
Yes.
Better than most of the rides I've been on for.
And trust me, when this puppy starts to dip into that hyperspace, ooh-wee, it's pretty cool. I actually did it. Oh, go ahead.
Sounds excellent.
I have one question.
Uh-huh.
We learned more about the other dimensional space of the rift.
Mhm.
I have a so when you travel through the rift gets bigger.
Mhm.
Does material of any kind, does matter ever get transported to?
Yeah, so if you remember when we described it initially, part of the reason why you still have to plot a course once you've opened up a drift portal is because there's like debris and stuff there. So there's like derelict vessels that'll pop up where like people have been trapped in the drift and like they're abandoned vessels. There's pieces of like either asteroid or just landmass in general that have appeared in here. So depending on how good your piloting check depends on how long you're in the drift. So you meta-wise, you could still have encounters and whatnot inside the drift.
I see.
Because of stuff just getting pulled in.
Is it hard to like maintain your position inside of that dimension of space?
The way I've kind of described it is when you open up a portal, you see your opening and you see the exits, and then it kind of, like the computer basically plots out what is here between those 2 points, and then you map the most efficient route between those.
Okay, so you're. I know when you're going into that dimension, it's because you're going really fast. I'm just wondering. Okay, but I'm only asking all these questions because one of the nights when John is about to do like a system update, he'll just start thinking to himself like, he's like wondering like if potentially somehow wherever Galarian had gone, maybe it had been somehow sucked into the drift dimension, and that it's been hiding or maybe tucked away there for
Give me a mysticism roll. And I know you're not good at it.
Okay.
But to be honest, it's...
Can I argue life science? Or, no. Never mind.
The reason why I'm going mysticism is this entire dimension is the domain of Triune.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's literally...
It's tied to that god.
I see. Okay. I will do that then. Here we go. +1. Not bad, I guess. 11?
You've never really been one of the spiritual type.
No.
So, kind of, you specifically, like, even what you can remember as John, let alone when you were Michael, whatever little bits of tidbit you can pull from Michael's past, you don't remember ever really paying attention to, like, the topics on religion going through school.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't help that Triune is a little bit newer as far as gods go. So, like, I wouldn't say he's, like, recent, like, current events, but, like, it's within, the last 200 years, because that's how, basically, like, the gap is whenever Triune originated, because drift technology happened right after the gap, and Triune established themselves as the three-faced god at that point. So it's fairly recent that Triune has existed as a god, or at least in their current state, because it used to be 3 separate gods. So it's hard to get any sort of motivations, but it is kind of like whether or not Galarian is in the drift, you feel like that might be unlikely just based off of the size of the drift at this point in time.
Oh, okay.
But you feel like there might be some sort of connection between Triune and the disappearing of Galarian, because it conveniently aligns with the gap and the arrival of drift technology.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this isn't a new theory either,
Sure.
because even I would say John has dabbled in the infosphere on this sort of like plot thread.
Sure.
And this seems to be a common theory for people that aren't necessarily big scholars, and especially people that aren't necessarily big fans of Triune. Like, you know how it is with like any sort of religion where there's like the doubters of like that religious belief, and their kind of ongoing theory is like no one should be worshiping Triune because he's the reason why Galarian's gone.
Okay. All right.
You do recall that if you're really wanting to go down the weeds of stuff with Triune, you recall that Rejuvenor, whenever you guys went on the suicide run to El Dorado, his compatriots wished him may Triune guide you.
Right.
So you feel that he has probably some more connections with Triune.
Is Galarian dead?
No,
Galarian is effectively the Earth of this solar system. It disappeared and was replaced with Absalon Station.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like but like no one remembers, right? Because everyone was like,
It happened during the gap.
Right.
So there's a period of, I think it's like 200 years that no one in the solar system remembers. They might, even if they have the longevity to have lived during that time period, they can remember like having a kid and a family, but like actual events that happened in that time period, they can't remember.
Interesting. Okay. Thanks for entertaining my thought there.
No.
I'm
This
good.
is the fun stuff. Just like your campaign, this is building on to other campaigns.
Right. That's it for me. I'm good to vamp forward.
Okay. Last call for any events during this 2-day period. Perfect. As you guys make your way down, the Copper Onion is... Delilah, with your experience in the black market, you would know the Copper Onion's known for its Moscow mules. So it's very heavy as that. So there's like a lot of variations on the mules, but pretty much 90-something% of the drinks served at this bar are in sort of the copper mugs.
Delilah has to resist the urge not to steal. It fits the color scheme.
As you guys make your way in, you're immediately able to kind of like pick out the individual you're supposed to be meeting, even though you don't know by name. It's easy to recognize him. John, you would recognize him as well. He's sitting in a corner booth and kind of anticipating that there was going to be more than just Delilah, especially since he had sent a lead up. He's sitting in one of those ones where it's kind of like off to the side in a larger booth, kind of to accommodate the whole party.
Can there be like one hanging low lit light above the table?
I think that's a fitting. So like we'll say it's kind of got like a sort of like a steampunk sort of vibe to it.
Sure, okay.
So there's like a lot of like the bronze, copperish sort of like metal going through the bar, and it's one of those like bronze sort of like metal casings, and then a light coming out of it. So it's got kind of like a pinkish glow.
Wow.
As you guys kind of like come up to meet with him. Well, I see you've brought the whole entourage. I didn't necessarily have a job planned for this one, but there's been a job on my books that I'll bring up towards the tail end of our conversation if you guys are interested. Please take a seat.
Of course. And I will sort of like take a seat and sort of scooch all the way in. You know, make some room.
Now,
Right next to the guy.
well, Elite, we haven't got quite this accommodated before, but it's fine. Now, before we get too far in, I am not going to tell you my name, and I don't expect to get all of your names. The conversation we're about to have effectively never happened. But
Don't worry, I always clear my cash and cookies.
you will be compensated either way. But in my experience, the less information you share, the less information people can use to track you down. Especially if you try to use any of the information that we share tonight for your own benefit. Now that we've gotten at least the unpleasantries out of the way, the first gig that I was able to pull for you, it appears the Rejuvenor Tohak potentially left a journal down in the lair of Steel Talon that allegedly has documentation on how this soul transference spell works.
Oh shit.
if you'd like to take this gig, there's essentially something involving a hidden panel down in his room, down in the deep part of the spire. If you're able to retrieve that and bring it back, you'd get about 2,000 credits for that, John.
I think that one might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think we can handle that.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Let me work through the whole list, and then
Let
whichever
the man
one's
speak, and then we will comment.
not. I get that you're wanting to be hasty. There are a couple more lucrative ones if you're really interested. My second job, apparently, an anonymous benefactor is interested on Premex Kumar Melacruz. It seems to me that it's probably another politician that's not really keen on her, despite how well she's been managing the Absalon station, and they're looking to get her removed. So basically just looking for some dirt on her. That one, if you brought back details on her, especially if it's got something that we could use as leverage to get her out of office, would be 5,000 credits. The third option or mission is to carry a message to Levada Notley. If you're not aware, she's the leader of the Free Captains. This one is specifically on behalf of the Inner Circle.
Hello? What?
Essentially, you'd be taking this lockbox to her that contains a message. The box only opens with her fingerprint, so literally you're just a fairy, making sure no one else takes it. And while you could potentially break the security on it, even one failure would immediately notify the Inner Circle of tampering, and they'd probably look deeper into it. So I'd advise, if you take this one, just transporting the message to her.
When he gets done talking about that specific gig, John will just make robotic eye contact with Raya, and just say, interesting. I'm trying to it's body language. It's not necessarily John's sort of forte.
So me and T being Lashintas, we can talk to each telepathically.
As far as you can tell at the moment, there is no hindrance to telepathic communication.
Okay. I don't have anything edges in case.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
I was like, I'm waiting for I wanted to hear the T. Come on.
It seems as if all of these tasks are pretty aligned with what we were already doing anyway. Or at least we have information and the knowledge that all of these tasks should be done pretty easily.
We don't need to do all of them, though.
We shouldn't do all of them.
Is that all of them? All three?
I'm waiting till this is all done before I go into the next part.
I'll wait to continue talking.
Now, I wasn't expecting you to have linked up with so large of a group, since the last time we were doing dealings, you were working solo. So I have at least one more that's fairly lucrative. Essentially, we've been having issues with a job requiring a whole team providing security detail. Part of the issue is the required discretion, and the other issue is where the job is located. If you would like to hear more details, I would need binding agreements from each of you present.
Don't worry, I've signed plenty NDAs in my lifetime.
Could you give some more information? Maybe not specifics, but I don't want to be swearing secrecy on a job I know nothing about.
Well, that's the thing, is the secrecy is part of the requirement for hearing the job, because even knowing the job details are quite telling.
So we'd have to agree to accepting this job.
Oh, I'm not saying you have to accept the job. The part of the secrecy is even knowing that the job is on the table, you will not be allowed to disclose that.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, if you trust the word of a free captain.
We have our ways. We'll see in a minute if you're interested.
T will kind of just squint at him.
And you, my dear, as he looks over to you, Raya.
With so many of us in the group, would we? No, I don't want to split the team. I don't know, dude. I mean, I'd be down for a security job. Because we don't really need. I don't know.
But once again, you're not having to lock in with the job to know the details of the job. You're needing to.
We have to paint each square first.
We won't tell anybody about the job, and then they'll tell us about the job, and then we can decide if we want to do it or not.
Indeed.
I'll sign the dotted line.
Perfect. Still on the fence.
Feels like a trap's gonna come back later. Okay.
Once you guys have kind of given your verbal sort of agreement to this, he'll beckon and kind of whisper to the bartender, and then a drink will be brought out for each of you. If you are still interested, please consume the beverage in front of you.
What the hell is this shit? I thought we just had to do.
This is the binding agreement.
Can I, let's see.
For those inclined,
Can I use like a medicine or mysticism check to see like spikes?
smuggling would be your best bet for this one. For Delilah, your profession, I think, would fit into this as well. And John?
My profession is general contractor.
Yeah, but we've kind of aligned that with your mercenary work.
Oh, okay.
Elite as well, your profession would fit this. Raya, the best you could really do would be like a deception. I think it's a deception or a sense motive. Sense motive would be the one for you, Raya, if you're rolling.
Yeah.
What
Well,
would mine be?
Your profession. If you don't have profession, do sense motive.
Where do I find my deception?
Sense motive.
Oh, okay.
that is a nat 20.
I have that.
Nice.
Oh, nat 20.
I got a 7.
Oh, that's not bad. I have 24.
24, good.
I have a 6.
6?
I don't think she built. Yeah, I don't think her or Delilah really built into sense motive.
I
Yeah.
also don't have it put in my profession, so eventually I'll have that.
So, question
Would you have a
because I'm
lead?
a historian. Like,
Oh,
would
so
I
dirty 20?
Would I have known, like, read about anything? Or would anything identify to me?
I would be inclined to say no, simply for the fact is I don't think we've described you really going down the weeds of like black market dealings and like the underworld. Like your history has been mostly on like ancient history type stuff and less on like this type of stuff. But for John and Elite, you have seen other people when they're accepting jobs consume this drink. As far as you can tell, no negative effects. It seems to be a common one here in the black market in order to accept high-level jobs that require discretion. You don't know the exact details of it. You just know that as long as you're staying in line with the rules of the dealing, no one has had negative effects from it. T, not from mercenary work per se, but from your time in Free Captains, this beverage, which it's kind of like a milky sort of like gray, you're familiar that inside of it is nanites that once consumed, and the person that has activated the nanites describes what the rules of engagement are, they will force the person that has consumed it to abide by said arrangement. So essentially, based off of the way it's been described to you, you have the implied nature that you will not be able to talk about what you're about to hear to anybody else unless he authorizes it. Otherwise, the nanites will tear you up from the inside out.
It's like from Naruto Shippuden, like the root, how they put like little seals on people's tongues. Makes it so they can't talk about shit.
I have a question. If we consume this, if we do end up taking the job, we have a whole crew that would have to be behind it that we would have to like tell them about.
The way he's described it is you're not binded in the job, and it doesn't necessarily bind the whole group into the job.
It's just we're bound to not share the information.
Well, I'm just meaning like we'll have to share the information with other people on the ship if they're going to be part of it. So
without getting too far into it, meta-wise, we'll say to kind of alleviate that concern, if you need more people to be privy, you can always talk with him to get more people into the loop on the job.
Listen, I'm not new to dealings in the black market or even to that of mercenary work. Okay, let's not mess around here. I don't need to be putting that shit in my system. The aftertaste is horrible anyway.
Mm-hmm. If you don't want the job or to hear about it, it's your choice.
I think we're more than capable of handling the job. I just think it's a little untrusting. I'd like to try to like negotiate, like whether it be with what's the word?
Diplomacy, I think is where you're going.
I realize it's common tactics here, but honestly,
it's not just common tactics. I cannot talk about this job based off of who is providing it without this assurance. Not to be mean, but the whole point is I don't know any of you, and my benefactor sure as hell doesn't know any of you.
To be fair, I'm pretty fucking curious.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm sorry, T. And I'll drink that down. I want to know what's going on. What if it's freaking Ashton Kutcher wanting to take over the world? What's his name? Asher Vox.
That dude from the 70s show?
I'm gonna sit next to T or near T and cast on to follow his feed, knowing that he's uneasy.
Okay. Delilah, you consumed.
Yeah.
Elite, did you consume?
Yeah, sure. You drank the Grey Goo?
For you two, I'm not going to force you to participate, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave the table if you don't.
Fine. He'll toss it back.
Raya?
I hesitantly look over at T taking it, and I follow his lead.
For those of you with taste buds, it's not horrible. It's not the greatest taste. It's kind of like a creamy sort of like flavor, but there's like an underlying metallic taste to it. So it's kind of like you had like a creamsicle and then licked a piece of metal.
Okay.
That tastes horrible.
Two things I like. I don't know.
I was gonna say for my Android friends, it's probably top notch as far as like flavor profile goes.
Great,
Now, the beverage you have just consumed contains nanites that will not prevent you to disclose any of the information over the next 30 minutes without the direct consent of myself. If you have other team members that need to be included, you will need to bring them to me first. Any attempt to break this oath will result in the nanites destroying you from the inside out, starting with your vocal cords or voice processors, as he looks at the two androids at the table. This includes Lashunta mental communication, just so that we are aware of the stakes.
Oh.
He will then kind of like lean over and throw out like a little metal disc, and you'll see like a bubble form over the table.
Cool.
For those inclined, give me an engineering check.
Oh, I have a plus 11.
T, in your particular case, you could roll a profession if you'd like.
I got a 27.
Perfect.
28.
Nice.
T is going to be kind of reserved.
Okay.
27.
He'll do the check, but 28.
Oh, nice.
I got a 6 with a natural 1.
Oh, nice.
I'd like to think that T has quite a bit of experience using and having this used to manipulate
Right.
people,
Yeah.
rather than for secrecy. And
For you, Leets, you're kind of like you're like actually looking to see if they'll give you another one of these drinks because it would like hit the spot. So you're not even really paying attention as the bubble. Yeah. For everybody else at the table, you're able to kind of discern immediately that the bubble that has kind of like formed around you prevents any sort of sound escaping the bubble, so anybody outside of the bubble can't hear him. So basically an extra safety precaution as he's about to describe the job. All right. A fleet of vessels commissioned by the Inner Circle has been under construction on Octurne. This is in response to the swarm threat that has been kept under wraps as far as the general populace is concerned. The swarm recently took out all known planetary defenses. It had been spotted on the system's early warning devices, leaving less than 2 months before we expect them to enter our territory. The fleet should be ready in time to meet the advance, but they have been having setbacks due to the nightmarish creatures and dark elves on the planet. They have requested an able-bodied crew to provide protection as their engineers finish preparing the ships.
Did he reveal the client?
The Inner Circle.
Oh, it's straight up. It's just the inner.
So are we just going to be security guard?
Essentially, is the shipyards that they have established, they're having troubles maintaining the perimeter because of the nightmare creatures and night elves that live on the planet.
So there's 2 Jakes from the Inner Circle here.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the black market, baby.
So that means that the Inner Circle is probably working with anybody in the black market to get some of their work done.
They're working with anybody that will bend to their will.
Well, I think
currently includes us.
This one is 100,000 credits.
Besides even the credits, I think this is the one we should take because it gets us closer to answers.
Yes.
You all may...
want...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
You may take multiple jobs if you like, Delilah, but the job on Octurne requires that you arrive within the week. They have said that they need about 3 more weeks of work to be completed, at which point they can move the ships into position and finish any additional work. Now, feel free to discuss this with each other, but anyone outside of this bubble is off the table unless they meet with me. The death caused by the nanites is not a pleasant one, so I highly advise you heed my words. Contact me whenever you made your decision on which jobs. Just say 1, 2, 3, or 4, or multiple.
Understood.
Have a great evening. He'll pick up the device, disabling the bubble, and walk out of the bar.
As far as I'm concerned, we take 3 and 4.
What was 3 again?
3 was the other Inner Circle job. Or no, 3 was the one to Levada.
To deliver the...
Yeah, it was from the Inner Circle to deliver
Never to Levada, yeah.
Say we take both, honestly.
That's what he's recommending.
We're...
Oh, sorry, I didn't get that part.
Despite... I'm going to use my Lashunta telepathy to communicate this with the team. Despite what our current theories are on the corruption and the everything with the PWC. Or with the Inner Circle in itself. We cannot turn down this job for more information.
No.
They're actively asking us to redo what we have already done on Castorville on another planet.
Well, yes and no.
Except this time it is not direct or from our own prerogative. It is a job offer on the black market. If we are
Very lucrative
But
one.
we're doing it on behalf of the inner circle.
we are doing it on behalf of our own merit from the black market. This could have been literally anyone.
Which is interesting because for a tight-lipped group such as the Inner Circle, it is... Maybe they're just expending all their options to get whatever help they can. It just seems odd that they don't have their own select few to already choose between.
Well, like, they have us.
To employ work within this specific kind of high-risk situation.
Exactly.
And would depict them as
Desperate.
incapable or desperate.
Yeah, for those of you that would like, give me a sense motive, and I'll kind of give the underlying vibe you're getting from the Inner Circle based off of these updates.
Well, we're 11 minus 1.
Yeah, I think yours is pretty terrible too.
I got a 7 again.
-2.
I got a 15.
Oh, thank God.
15.
I got a plus 11 and I got a 13.
I also rolled a 2 for a total of 0.
You got? Oh yeah, you said you were gonna roll. You're
7.
7. Okay.
And 15 from Ryan.
For Delilah, you're kind of. This is a lot more in depth of the Inner Circle than what you were expecting, so it's kind of overwhelming at the moment, the information, and this goes for Elite as well. Processing what you've been given and then like even trying to figure out what the motivation is like a step too far at this point. For Raya and T, for T, you kind of get the inclination just based off your background is anybody in power is going to do their best to hide their moves behind a proxy. So you're keying into even something simple as carrying a box. If it's shown that it came from the Inner Circle and then went to Levada, it ties the PWC to the Free Captains, which isn't public knowledge that they work together. So, like, that 100% makes sense to you. And then, literally, the nature of the shipyards in general, it makes sense that no one would tie that to politicians in general. Like, it's a secret fleet, attack fleet, being built on a basically the Pluto of this solar system. For you, Raya, despite your paranoia, the paranoia is actually helping you in this regard because you're kind of like keying into the precautions that they took to even tell you about the shipyards are so stringent. Like, they literally told you will die if you reveal this to anybody else. So you know that it's not like the Inner Circle's making it well known that they're giving a job about the shipyards. Like, you had to consume something that could kill you just to find out about it. And the job of ferrying a message, even if they were able to tie it back to the PWC, the black market, it's pretty much public knowledge in the black market that the Free Captains and the PWC work together. So you kind of like, in your head, can piece together why these jobs were on the table.
Okay.
The better question is, why haven't they already been filled? Like, he said that it's hard to fill the job based off of the danger, so you're keying into the shipyards. You might need to do some research on the creatures that live on Nocturne, because if people aren't accepting the job, even once they learn how many credits it is, it's probably really dangerous.
Okay.
I just was wondering, I'm pretty sure only one of these digs are time sensitive. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, just that last one.
Based off of the nature of it, you could probably assume the one to ferry the message should be done as quickly as possible.
Sure.
But there wasn't a time stamp dated on like how quick it needed
Would
to
it be
happen.
possible for us to deliver the message on our way to the fleet?
And this is kind of tied to him mentioning you could take multiple jobs. Is especially with your guys' drift engine, it's 1d4 to go anywhere in the solar system.
We were
Hours.
already planning on going to speak with Lavada anyway.
Oh.
So this is literally on the...
Yeah, we might as well then. I think... oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think, like, off of what... Oh, I forgot her name already. But...
Right.
Kind of just figured out. We might want to do some research real quick and just figure out what we might be facing. If we're cool with it, then I think we might just ask, like, hey, is it possible we get, like, 20k up front or something? Because we need to buy equipment. Things to, like, specifically target these creatures.
Spoken like a true mercenary.
Yeah.
If not, 50. We'll try for 50, right?
Sure.
But settle for, like, 20 up front, right? So...
Yes, at the very least, it will cover our assets. That's not a bad idea. What maybe it's worth negotiating. I very much like the idea of doing work for the inner circle because it'll allow us to dig our heels in. However, it does make me slightly nervous in a very sort of robotic way.
Fortunately for us, compared to anyone else who would have taken this job, we are probably more prepared to handle the foes that we may face. Maybe you not as much, Lee, but we can fill you in.
This is coming from a man that basically had a last stand on this fucking planet. This is the planet that the last stand of the Conquistador happened around. And you fought on the planet's surface against these creatures in the past. So several of these creatures are hung as trophies in his room.
Interestingly enough, I am more nervous to deliver an unknown parcel to your girlfriend when we don't know what it is, and it seems like if there's any tampering, we're fucked.
I think we just stay around while she opens it.
Yes, I'll look over her shoulder.
Well, we gotta be more discreet than that, John.
Right.
He's a real professional.
So,
I mean, that's the question, right? How do we make it free?
Well, we already meet with her enough. I don't think anyone's watching what we're gonna do.
I mean, would she allow you to just be in the room? Seems like you two have history.
Maybe.
John is making it more than what it actually is. It's an occasional hookup. And she
A
was
booty
my
call,
underling,
if you
and
will.
now I am her it's not as complicated as it seems, I promise.
Alright, fair enough. He needs to be in the room.
Yeah, maybe she'll let you be in the
You
room.
get the sense that he's saying that more for himself than actually.
Okay, cool.
Alright, so we're all under the same opinion that 3 and 4. We don't really have the time to take 1 and 2 as well.
I agree.
What was 1 and 2 again? Because 1...
One is a journal that was stored down in the spire where John and T had cleared it out. Specifically at the depths of Steel Town's lair is where Rejuvenor's old room, whenever he was doing his technomancery stuff in secret. There's a journal, a alleged journal in a secret panel that has the details of the soul transference spell. They just want a copy of that.
Journal?
We didn't find it.
You guys didn't look for a secret panel, but you also didn't know to look for a secret panel.
Sure.
But you also have Rejuvenor on your ship.
So,
The second job was spying on Primex Kumara Melacruz.
Yeah, fuck. We can't do. She's literally Like,
Yeah, no, we can't betray her.
We can't betray her. She's the only reason why we even have a chance of overthrowing the PWC.
I think we should warn her that somebody's after her.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the inner circle themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Drinking that
But she is part of the inner circle.
No, she's just part of the PWC.
Meta-wise, to clear the air on your drink, all of you can talk about it without any threat. If you fill in any members of the OMAG without consent from your anonymous benefactor,
Eternal damnation.
effectively it's going to start killing you from the inside out.
But only about the fourth job.
But only about the fourth job.
So
So
we can
any of the
tell-
previous jobs you can talk to anybody else about.
So we could tell.
So wait.
Carmela
Mhm.
about. Okay.
Kumara, but, you know, Carmela.
What's it? I'll let her
He
do
he
that.
ruined it for
Fuck
everybody
me
else because
over.
he's like, yeah, Kamala Harris.
That's all I think about. Every time we talk about her, I'm like, yeah, Camilla Harris.
Carmela Della Cruz.
Yeah, that's the other one.
And that's headcanon.
So-
That's her real name.
For the dire or the
The
girl,
first NPC I
you didn't-
introduced to the table, and that's the one NPC we can't remember.
It's because I wasn't around.
You're right. Sorry, go ahead, Raya.
Didn't one of us steal that journal? Or did
T
you never
stole. I say stole. They were left abandoned, and as far as you can tell, Rejuvenor had no intent of ever going back. He took all the books off of Rejuvenor's bookshelf down there. So he has all of those, which are basically like Theory of the Soul, that type of stuff, and some like other technomancery books. This is based off of the intel you were given. Is a journal that was hidden in a secret panel down there.
Is this one
Oh,
time
secret.
sensitive?
No,
So could we, in theory, like take it and take our time to get to it?
sure. Like T already pointed out, you literally have the author of the journal on your ship.
But why? Here's the thing, Ryan. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just about to say, yes, we may have the author on our ship, but when the author is my brother, and we've talked about this spell quite a lot, do you think if it had any importance, he would have brought it up? Or maybe... I don't know, it's a lot of speculation, and I'm wondering if we take the job, regardless, and then talk to Rejuvenor about it, and see what he says, because maybe he's hiding something from me.
Well, my question is, why do they want it?
We don't know who asked for this job. We don't know who...
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
don't
I
know.
mean.
Why
Why
we're
someone
supposed to
looking
give
for
her
his
books.
journal of how
The
to
way it was
transfer the soul.
described is it basically is the exact process of how to do the soul transference spell.
And they want.
So
they-
someone out there is
Okay, never mind, we don't
looking
want
for the book on how to transfer souls. So someone out there is actively looking for the recipe.
So I think instead of taking the job, then we have Rejuvenor take us to get it, and we keep it for ourselves.
Or we take the job, just so nobody
I
else
mean, you
takes
could just
it.
ask for Juvenor, but I just want to point out that someone is actively looking. And what if it's the inner circle or the swarm? I mean, the swarm technically figured it out how to do it via mind control or through the thing, but what if they're the ones looking for how to do it
We
soul
go,
swap?
we go get the book, we leave a dupe in its place with the contents of the book saying get fucked, and we'll take the original.
Okay, and what was the second job?
The second job was the one spying on Kumar Malakers.
Turning on Kamala.
Okay.
So take 1
Okay,
and 4.
I-
Yes, I think that's where we're at.
We tell Kamala, hey, somebody's after you, just so you know.
Yes.
You got kind of a bounty on you.
It's got to be somebody from the inner circle. I think she conducts herself in such a professional way that I doubt that she could get the rug pulled out from under her easily, but not impossible. but someone must know that she is working with us in a way that might be more revealing of our potential aspirations.
Delilah, when you were asking for jobs from the black market, did you specifically ask for ones revolving around the inner circle?
No.
No.
We just happened to get 2.
Yes. After we did research on them.
And all the jobs we found out about is essentially what we found out on our own too. I'm nervous about taking the first job if we're not going to deliver the journal, because then I feel like we put an unnecessary target on our back.
I
don't think they need to deliver the journal.
But
I
that's
just
what
think
the
that
job
they need to
is.
be aware. You probably need to ask your Duvenor if it's even there, or if it's true that there is a hidden journal somewhere. Because what if we ask him and he says that it was stolen before? You know what I mean? Like, we probably need to talk to Rejuvenor.
No, we don't take the first job.
Yeah, I agree.
But we check up on it.
Yeah, I agree. We got to do something with the journal. I just don't think we take the job, because then if we take the job and we don't turn in the journal, then we put a target on our back.
Yeah.
So we don't take the job, but we get the journal one way or the other. Or figure out where it is.
So we take 3 and 4, and we look into 1.
And we warn Carmilla about 2.
About 2. Yes.
We're effectively taking all 4, but only saying that we're taking 3 and 4.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think that we should warn her or tell her anything.
Are you sure?
I mean,
That sounds like a job.
You're outvoted, I'm sorry.
Pre-Max Delta Cruz is the only reason why we are able to effectively operate as the Revengers. I would hate to compromise her position.
yeah, but
again,
again,
we're
doing the politician's dirty work on their behalf.
I feel like you're spending too much time around John.
At least stating the obvious.
That's how that works.
Okay. Well, maybe we can sit on not telling Prima.
You're doing so good.
Guys, I know it was like, I'm not trying to do a bit. Well, maybe we think about not telling her for a second, but I feel like she deserves it. So,
Okay, 3 and 4.
go Revengers. How do we get a hold of the guy?
You'll notice that they're...
You know, like everything on this planet, really?
More or less.
The journal's here on the planet that we're on right now.
He's talking about the research for the Octurne. For notifying, you'll see that he left a device on the table, and on further inspection, it basically has like a questionnaire where you just select the bubbles of which one you want.
I understand. Okay.
For remembering creatures on Octurne, give me a life science roll.
I am proficient in life science. Can I roll just because maybe it's something I learned about?
You said dirty 20. If anybody else would like to roll, you can as well. You guys can do further research if you...
22.
Oh, nice.
Life science, you said?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm not proficient. I just have a high score. Never mind.
Yeah. As long as you put points in it and you feel like you want to roll.
Then that will be a 24 for me as well.
Oh, nice.
I love the fact that we're rolling so good.
I know, dude. We're on
a
fucking
game where we
fire.
don't have a lot of combat.
Except for
Yeah, there was the one nat one of the night was
I've
from
had a
Elite.
1, 2, and a 9.
Oh, nice.
Hey, I thought your name was elite, bro.
Elite in combat.
It's marketing.
The first thing that comes to mind is Halo every time. Like that's the first every time. Okay, what was yours, Delilah? Was yours up there too?
I didn't roll.
Okay.
I don't have one.
Okay, so John, T, and Riot. Some of the
highest modifier, but rolled the lowest out of the three.
yeah, but you still rolled what, dirty 20, so
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
still over. The most common creatures on here, and they tend to live under the surface, are dark elves. And you know from experience that it kind of varies as far as like proficiency on them. So like threat level, it's hard to get a good gauge. You do know that living on this planet puts them in very austere conditions in general. So like to live here, you have to be pretty tough.
Pretty, yeah.
One of the lower level creatures that you could encounter is a Orokorun, which is a medium aberration.
Oh shit! Oh, so there's like demons and stuff.
Which looks
Oh
like that.
my god! Jesus,
That's pretty nice.
that looks like some Stranger Things shit right there.
You also are privy to the plague ooze that is common on the planet. I don't know if they have a picture of that one or not. Basically, it's an ooze originated with like cultists and stuff like that. So CR7 is kind of what you're looking at there. Whether or not you'll encounter them, there's also some higher level ones. So the kind of lord of the Oricons is a CR9. One of the CR10 creatures on the planet is this Olguthus.
I think you had something in your mouth. What was
that? So it's an amphibious ambush predator.
Oh, okay.
So you don't know exactly where the shipyards are, but unless it's close to like the sea on Nocturne, you're probably not going to encounter that one. And the one that you're praying to God isn't really kind of around the areas is Braivath. Which looks like that, which kind of looks like literally a nightmare in shadow.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Ghostface from Ben 10.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, Ghostface is one of my favorites, dude. What a cool little guy.
So that is the potential threats you might run into on Nocturne. Of those, you face the first one, Dark Elves, and the Plague Oozes.
People there are built tough. They have to be. Because they live amongst nightmares.
Much like yourself, T.
That's it.
Yeah, sorry. I just like.
You didn't draw Bacchus, bro.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily on my robotic toes for today.
There you go.
I love how he keeps doing that with Tucker. It'll fucking stretch.
Yeah.
It's like, hi. All right.
He's like, let me do it again.
Tina's like, we're not fucking playing at 9:30 at night.
Well,
10 o'clock.
Do we have a way in this
Did we,
little messenger thing to say,
yeah,
hey,
did
give
you
us
vote?
to be up front?
There is an option to like
Negotiate.
negotiate if you'd
Okay.
like. So depending on how you guys select.
Yeah, we'll do 3 and 4 with an asterisk.
We actually are kind of familiar with the monsters on this world, and
The details of why you want to negotiate aren't an option on here, but as soon as you select those two and that you would like to negotiate, you'll see a pop-up sort of response that says, please meet back at the Copper Onion tomorrow evening. We will discuss terms.
We have to wait another day. We waited a day for this meeting.
2 days, rather.
I want
And
to
yet-
negotiate the negotiation time.
And
That's another 3 days.
So, like, please take a number.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's number 1.
So I guess we're coming back.
Wait time is
I say we should go back to the ship and go
Yeah.
talk to Reggie.
Yeah, let's go talk to
Sounds good.
Reggie.
Okay.
yeah.
So we'll say this meeting was kind of like set up around like 7-8 p.m. So it's like fairly early into like the evening time down in the black market. So like about the time you guys have like made your decision and finished the conversations here, it's like just starting to hit like main time, like 9 p.m. So unless you're doing more stuff down in the black market, you're able to make it back to the ship by like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. I want to keep an eye on our squad as we go back up to our ship. I want to like specifically keep an eye out for anybody who may be following us. I meant to say tailing, not tailoring.
Hey, you know, if they're getting your measurements.
I don't want anyone to know my shoe size.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Can I do it too?
Yes. Anybody else that's concerned about being followed,
It's
feel
just-
free. I think T's in his head right now. So.
Yeah. Papa needs a new vest.
No.
He kind of wants to be tailored right now.
It's like I need a new fucking cape.
I have.
Alright.
No, he needs a new hat after the other one got thrown up on him.
That's a solid 10.
10?
22.
22. Oh, all right.
You did it.
I did.
For you, John, it's hard to get a good gauge if anybody's following whenever you've gone like full paranoia move. So it's kind of like the fucking periscope where it's like, or like radar. So it's like beep, beep, and like your head is literally spinning super slow. So like you're not picking up on anything,
Okay.
but you're not sure if that's because you're actually not picking up on anything or if it's just you're not catching it in your orbital sort of motion.
Yeah.
Elite, based off of your mercenary work, you're used to kind of like having to kind of like be a little bit more discreet, which is impressive when you're usually walking around in power armor. But in this case, you know where to look for like specific threats, especially down in the black market. So as your guys are kind of like making your way, discretion is typically how the black market operates. So unless someone knew what you were doing before you had sat down at that table, they assume you got a job and they weren't privy to the contents of what the jobs are. So there's no real reason to track. So you're not seeing anybody like keying in on you guys in particular. There's some people that get a little too close and like handsy sometimes, but that's just because it's the nightlife down here in the black market.
Just kind of keep loose things in your pocket.
You don't detect any pickpockets at this point in time, but it kind of helps that a well-known individual like Delilah is in your group as well. So, other than that, you guys are able to make it back to the ship kind of fairly uneventful, especially once you get onto the elevator. Then it's kind of like, if anything, it's like unsettling quiet because everybody's kind of like in thoughts on like what you guys agreed to and what you heard. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, no, can you not hear Sarah that one?
Oh, I'm trying to look up stuff in the Discord. Probably.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like if you join the voice chat to look at the
Oh,
look at
I
the
see.
chat, you can't do it without joining the voice chat, which is kind of dumb. But
So we're back on the ship then?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm gonna research the creature's weaknesses.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do, 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 do.
I'm trying to leave the call. God, I did it, brother.
Okay. What is everybody else doing?
Sorry.
Because we might do one more thing before we call it a night. 'Cause it's about 10:30, and I have to do research on the creatures of the planet, so we might hold on to that one, so I can give more details than just looking at the webpage as we talk about it. But if you guys wanted to do like the talk with Rejuvenor or anything else tonight, that might be something we could close out with.
I want to do the talk with Rejuvenor, so I think we should totally.
Okay, let's do it.
As you guys make your way, Rejuvenor is kind of like tinkering in engineering. If anything, what you've noticed is since he's been added to like the crew, he's kind of like helped make engineering a little bit more streamlined, just based off of his technomancery background. And you can see Gleamgazer the Nyack kind of like up in the nest, sort of like settled in for the night. So it seems like it's kind of just been a chill evening on the ship. There's like a little faint glow in engineering from kind of like the pulse engine, kind of like pulsing every now and again. So it's kind of like the hum sort of vibe going on in the background. But
Raya, if you want to start us off, go for it.
Yeah. Are you gonna come with me or?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine
I
the
figure
whole party.
we're all having a...
Yeah, we'll all go.
Are we all? Okay.
Lift up the
Okay.
little hook.
So I walk in and I kind of just like knock on the wall, be like, "Hey, Rejuvenor."
oh, Raya, what? It's getting kind of late. What's going on?
So we just had a funny conversation with a gentleman. Do you know anything about a hidden journal?
That specifically belongs to you. That may or may not contain very dangerous secrets.
I mean,
Which one, am I right?
oh goodness, T. I don't know if I want to ask who you were talking to, but I'm assuming.
We don't know who we were talking to.
Yeah, that sounds like the black market. Do they give more details? I know I had left some books down in the spire.
It was in the spire, apparently behind the secret compartment.
Something I'm wondering about, is this just your inability to have foresight, or did you really think nobody would ever come looking for the secret of transference of life?
Well, I mean, to be fair, John, until you guys went down and killed the fucking dragon, the likelihood of anybody getting to the panel was pretty slim. And it's not like I left with, like, the intention of... It's not like I packed everything up for a trip. I got notification of Castrovel being under attack and left immediately.
Who would know about a secret journal?
Well, to be able to finish my research while I was at the Technomancery school, I may or may not have done several dealings with the black market on acquiring certain books.
Do you have any idea? Is there anybody close enough to you that would have knowledge that you had and essentially a dummy's guide?
No, but in my infinite wisdom, I wasn't exactly discreet with what information I was requesting, so...
Well, we were offered the job to go find it.
Well, it's probably not great that they know about it in that detail.
That's why I'm asking.
Is it worth our
So it's
while
still
to
there.
get it without accepting the job? Make sure nobody else does.
Probably. I mean, I guess it really depends on your feelings of other people knowing how to do the soul transfer. I mean, I literally had to go on a quest to learn it from the Wall of Knowledge. So
I
it
think
was.
we don't want other people to have that.
I mean, I'm of the opinion, because I'm not sure most people are going to ask for consent before turning someone into a robot, but, you know.
John looks over at you when he says that.
I look away.
Of course he does.
So, we also have another job.
Be careful.
We are to deliver.
Oh.
That's fitting. I like it. Continue.
We are. We have been tasked by the inner circle to deliver a parcel to Lavada Dulamandada.
I don't think that's her name, but continue.
It's
Agnes just pops up out of nowhere for reasons.
This parcel is not to be tampered with, and it seems as if if there were to be any tampering, they would be informed immediately. So it's best not to touch. But suspicious nonetheless.
Yeah, that's what happens whenever you accept a job to carry a secret message.
Well, doesn't that strike you silly just a little bit?
John, you're talking to the dude that literally started a revolution force on Castrovel to fight the swarm behind the backs of the government. Yeah, it seems suspicious that they're not fucking telling you what's in the message.
Then why don't you just say that from the beginning?
You're the one telling me that it looks suspicious.
Exactly. I just want a confirmation.
John?
We do have another job, but we can't give details on it.
We drank stuff to not do it, to not tell you.
Well, it sounds like you don't tell me then.
I shake my head at this entire conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, what is this?
John,
What is...
I think you should just stop where you're at.
I think you're right. And I'll take like 2 steps back and fucking just like fold my robotic arms.
Yes.
Rejuvenor.
Yes, right.
So, as far as you know, the journal is still there. Can you take us there and get to the secret spot to get the journal?
Yes, but I think the only thing we're going to need to troubleshoot is if it's a job on the black market and you guys didn't accept it, is we're going to need to approach this with the assumption of them not seeing any of you in the process of going down to the journal. Because if you were privy to it being a job and you're seeing tampering with said job,
Well, then maybe you should go. And we stay.
that might be the right approach. That's true.
Do you? Yes, I think that's a good idea.
That's probably the safest bet. The good news is not only was it in a secret panel, it was encrypted with a elliptic sort of design, high level quantum physics, so it shouldn't, unless someone has a lot of time, they shouldn't be able to crack it.
Are there any other locations that you would have hidden this recipe to?
No, I mean, to be honest, the original journal only exists because I had to transcribe the information from the Wall of Knowledge on Avalon. Once you've cast it, it's sort of ingrained in your memory. then he'll kind of like look at John, since he knows that you guys went to the Wall of Knowledge.
Alright, well... It seems like it might be the best course of action for your own safety for you to just go get it. We can give you some of my crew to go with you just for your own safety.
Wait, can we make sure that you destroy it?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I don't think we need to destroy it per se. But we don't know who requested the job. So who would want this information, we're not sure. But it's important that we have the book and that we can reveal this information once the time is ready. But
I'm kind of indifferent on whether or not we keep it or destroy it. It really depends on if you guys are wanting the knowledge of how to cast the spell or not. I have it internal, and if I'm not mistaken, John does as well.
John knows as well.
John, sorry, I did not mean to refer to myself in third person. I don't know, John's staying quiet at this point, but you see that the length of this conversation as it continues seems to be having some sort of effect on yes, I may contain the information, but I would hate for this to get into the hands of somebody and affect somebody in such a way like I was when this was done to me.
Has this information been given to anybody else?
No. Like I said, it required months, realistically over a year of preparation just to get to the Wall of Knowledge, which provided the spell in itself. And even then, unless you're an exceedingly experienced technomancer, casting the spell is dicey at best. I mean, my first attempt, John came back with only a small percentage of his original personality.
And memory.
The thing is, it was still done. Somebody was able to successfully transfer a soul.
Oh, I'm not saying the spell wouldn't allow them to at least do it, or at a minimum rip the soul out of a living creature and fail to put it into a new body. That's probably the bigger issue, is if they attempt the spell without the knowledge or skill necessary, they effectively kill someone.
I am going to say something that might come off a little uncouth. Can we rely on the competency of your crewmates to get this done safely and quickly?
I think Rejuvenor can do it by himself. It's his lair. It wouldn't look suspicious for him to go back to where he came from.
Yeah, but what if someone else? Because again, what if someone takes a job from the black market?
Well, then that's why we just need to go get the book. Like ASAP.
What if they're there at the same time?
that's why my crew goes.
That's where the crew goes.
Yes.
I think we can trust
Crossing
Rejuvenor to hold his
T's.
ground.
Okay, alright.
So much mistrust in the group. Jeez, guys, let's just move on.
We're all mercenaries.
I can't
We all
trust
have the same
anyone,
goal,
not
guys.
even myself.
I go on.
You're new, that's fine. No one's even suspicious of you. We're all suspicious of each other.
I don't know. They were suspicious of the lead for the first 20 minutes.
There's strong suspicions for at least one party member.
At least one party member.
Not to name names. It just starts with an R.
nothing that rhymes with Naya.
I have reasons.
I'm happy to to whatever is the best. How much longer are we spending on the planets?
At the very least, one day. We need to wait until we can negotiate further on our other job.
Okay. I'll snag the rest of the Conquistador crew and we'll head out tonight. And
Please
take care of it.
Very careful.
Should just be not careful, Paul. That'd be fine.
Well, I do have the benefit of John and T killing all the creatures between me and there, which in some ways is a little saddening.
Can I give you a bit of advice as you go down there?
Sure.
Bring it rapidly.
Well,
it was very effective the first time.
That is indeed true. I intentionally disabled that elevator because I knew I could repair it, but...
Oh, I meant for combat.
Oh.
Yeah.
As he looks at his what is it, the stub gun, which is like a brute force shotgun.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Maybe one of your crew has one. I'll leave it to the experts.
Do what you will with that information. I'm just saying. They're carrying us.
We'll describe in favorite parts.
Yeah.
So, alright then, we will meet up and we will leave tomorrow evening after discussions for better pay.
I'll take your word for it.
Perfect.
And he will depart. Before we close out for the evening,
They're awesome.
is there anything else you guys would like to do this evening? We'd say by the time this conversation ends with Rejuvenor, it's probably about midnight.
Yeah.
I think I am good. John's feeling a little, he has a lot to think about from all these jobs and stuff.
I think, T is gonna go off to his room with the intent of doing some meditation on a pilgrimage, but instead his mind just hyper focuses on some of the the dark elves and the abjurations that he had fought. It's just kind of keeps poking at memories of the Conquistador.
Okay. Give me a mysticism roll.
Like PTSD or
Yeah.
Effectively, yes.
You haven't heard the story yet, but yeah, some pretty big event.
Dirty 20.
Perfect. As you're kind of doing this meditation and sort of hyperfixation on the last stand of the Conquistador, it kind of picks up after the escape pods have landed on the planet. So you're kind of coming out of the crater, and Hargrove and Levada, you were in your normal state at this point, but you've kind of pushed some of this memory down just because it wasn't your shining moment anymore. You regressed into yourself a little bit because you didn't know what happened up on the ship. So as you're remembering this, it isn't hard to see why Levada was able to rise up in the ranks following this, because between her and Hargrove, you guys were able to set up a sort of makeshift barracks and everything to kind of or not barracks, barricades to set up a perimeter around the escape pods on the planets, and they basically took charge of leading the defensive stands as you guys were fighting off the creatures on the planet. You were there and you were assisting, but you were definitely taking a secondary role at this point. And you can recall specifically that Levada used this later on as why she should be moving up on the ranks.
Oh, I see.
But as you're recalling this specifically in terms of the creatures, it was one of those you would have one sort of you would take down one, and then there would be all of a sudden a shadow looming over your shoulder, and you'd be having to turn to take that one out. And as soon as you're taking that one down, there's another one that you're kind of like having to throw down, and a lot of teamwork is involved. But the shining moments of your crew was not a single casualty was accrued over there. There's some minor injuries, but no one fell once you got down to the planet. And eventually you see sort of like the support aircraft coming in to like provide air support and get you guys off the planets. But you could tell as this memory is like coming back, like basically like any other time you thought about it was kind of like blurry and not like coherent. This is like the clearest version of it you've ever seen, and you can tell this is like a shell of who T was in either form. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me for session 21. We'll call it there, and we'll pick up next session with either the morning or the evening leading into our conversation for negotiations and, how it goes with Rejuvenor and his team.
Guys,